That holiday look. You'll find it at Fred Meyer's.
Beauty is in the eye of the needle of the Viking Husqvarna #1 Plus. From buttonholes to mending jeans, invisible hemming to perfect quilting, delicate embellishments to professional machine embroidery, the Viking Husqvarna #1 Plus does it all with a touch. One touch tells you everything you need to know to sew. This is the one and only sewing machine for you, the Viking Husqvarna #1 Plus.
Certain laws of nature affect all bodies equally. And it becomes an uphill battle just to stay even. But these are new times. It all starts at Woodland Park Hospital. Call now to attend our free cosmetic surgery seminar.
You bought it, Matt. You gotta handle it.
If you buy something at Circuit City, then see it advertised for less, just come back. Our low price guarantee means you'll get the difference.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I bought this.
Plus 10% of the difference.
And today I saw this. Just open the paper and there it was.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
Cool.
Now open in Clackamas, Salem, Washington Square, and Hayden Meadows.
Well, coming home opener.
That's it?
That's it.
Cool.
Now open in Clackamas, Salem, Washington Square, and Hayden Meadows.
Well, coming up next, the Blazers take on Phoenix in their home opener. The game lasts until about 9:30 tonight, and that means we won't be airing some of NBC's shows. We do want to give you a chance, though, to see those shows or maybe tape them if you've figured out that VCR yet. So here is the rebroadcast schedule. 2 episodes of Wings are being rebroadcast, one Saturday at 4, the other Sunday night at midnight. Tonight's Frasier will air on the news channel at 4:30 Saturday afternoon. And coming up in just a few minutes, get ready for the game.
That's right. KJ, Barkley, missing from the Suns, but they still got Marley, they got Manning, Tisdale.
Okay, they've got a few people
Yeah, they
backing them up.
can get it done.
Blazers are healthy, though.
Should be a good
Home
one. Stay
opener.
tuned.
Good night.
Dakota Sport V6 has more. More horsepower, more shoulder room, more hip room, and more cargo room than a comparable Ford Ranger or Chevy S10. But you don't have to put everything you've got into it. Dakota Sport V6. A little bigger, a lot better.
See all that's new at your friendly Northwest Dodge dealer. Country heartthrob Billy Ray Cyrus, coming up on the next Live.
quickly, and there's been a lot of excitement for the Portland Trailblazers on opening night. They've waited a long time for this ball game. Normally, the opening day has come and gone, but they have a great opponent tonight in the Phoenix Suns. You know, the original was made in New York City, and that was when they created Jones and Doucette.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eddie Doucette, and with me is Steve Jones. And Mr. Jones, Don Nelson says we're going back to doing the things we do best. What might that be?
Fly, like Bela Lugosi. They're going to try to run up and down the floor like they did in games.
Now, Eddie, it's nice to have you back, and the problem is the sequel going to be better?
Oh.
The pressure is on you for sure.
Oh, I tell you what, I feel terrific. The sequel is going to be better. One thing for sure, Father Time, who sickles his way through our human attributes, physical and mental abilities, hasn't done one thing to that smile of yours, Jones. It's still as big as that great fiery orbit that hangs over the valley that the Phoenix Suns are known for. You still have that smile, Snapper.
Life is good. Because you can wake up every morning. Life is good.
Hey, we do have a lot of memories, a lot of history, and when you think about 25 years here, this franchise, where are the names of Abdul Jelani and Jeff Crompton and some of the others, Gary Gregor? Where are these people, Steve?
Well, they're watching, and as I said before, they're hoping that the sequel of Jones and Doucette will be better than Cagney and Lacey, and that we're going to go on and we're going to have a great season.
You taking bets? I can tell you right now the sequel is going to be fine. We're going to have fun. Right now, we're going to send it over to the Blazers public addresses announcer for all the festivities. Here he is, Mike Jones.
Good evening, ladies. Of the Trailblazers' 25th anniversary season in Memorial Coliseum. Before we introduce this year's Blazers, let's introduce our opponents for tonight's game, the Phoenix Suns. The trainer for the Suns, Joe Prosky. Assistant coaches, Scotty Robertson and Lionel Hollins. And the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, Paul Westphal. Now let's meet the players. A guard from Hawaii, number 8, Trevor Ruffin. A forward from Auburn, number 11, Wesley Person. A guard from Brigham Young, number 22, Danny Ainge. A forward from Auburn, number 4, Aaron Swinson. From Oklahoma, a forward, number 23, Wayman Tisdale. A center from Syracuse, number 24, Dan Shea. And now the starting lineup for the Phoenix Suns. Starting at guard, from Memphis, number 2, Elliot Perry. At the other guard, from Central Michigan, Dan Marley. Center from Arkansas, number 35, Joe Klein. At forward from Kansas, number 15, Danny Manning. And at forward from Oregon State University, number 45, A.C. Green. Unable to play for the Suns tonight due to injury, number 7, Kevin Johnson. From Duke, number 21, Antonio Lang. And from Auburn, number 34, Charles Barkley. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 25 wonderful years. Let's enjoy some Blazer memories.
We're in a growing metropolitan area. This would be the first major league professional sport in Portland, and I think it would be very successful here. Your silver anniversary edition of the Portland Trail Blazers. At forward from Seton Hall, number 2, Mark Bryant. A guard from Temple, number 23, Aaron McKee. From Longwood College, Virginia, at forward, number 25, Jerome Kersey. A guard from Alabama, number 26, James Robinson. From UCLA, forward, number 31, Tracy Murray. From Oklahoma, forward, number 44, Harvey Grant. A center from the University of Washington, please welcome number 53, James Edwards. Starting 5 at forward from Connecticut, number 3, Clifford Robinson. At forward out of the University of Maryland, number 52, B.Williams.
Hitting at center from Yale, number 24, Chris Dudley. At one guard from DePaul, number 1, R.Strickland. And at guard from Houston, number 22, C.Drexler. Unable to play tonight due to injury from Dayton, number 11, Nigel Knight. From Wisconsin, Stevens Point, number 30, Terry Porter. The trainer for the Portland Trailblazers, Jay Jensen. The assistant coaches, Rick Carlisle, Johnny Davis, and Dick Harder. And the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, please welcome P.J. Carlesimo. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your 25th anniversary Portland Trailblazers. From Fort Lewis, Washington, in honoring America with our national anthem. Performing the anthem tonight, we are very pleased to have Bill O'Brien, Michelle Gaudette, and Ann Solaski from the national touring cast of the Tony Award-winning musical Will Rogers Follies. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill O'Brien, Michelle Gaudette, and Ann Solaski.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, we're off to a great start, and there's more good stuff coming. Don't go away.
Make, toast, blend, puree, press, pants, call mother.
Calling mother.
Presenting Voice Touch from Cellular One. You speak, it dials, and it works with any cellular phone.
Mow lawn.
If only everything was this easy.
When you get your prescriptions filled at Payless Drugs, you can get them refilled at over 500 locations.
so you can feel right at home, even when you're not. Pharma Network, part of the Payless Pharma system. No matter which health plan you have, it's good to know that Payless Drugs accepts over 1,000 of them. Come see how we stack up. Pharma plans, part of the Payless Pharma system.
Airport, please. I've got a 9 a.m. flight.
No problem. Good. What airline?
Alaska.
Alaska. First time Alaska?
Yes, it is. But airline never take off on time.
First time Alaska.
When Alaska Airlines says a flight will leave at 9 a.m., we do our best to make sure it does.
I tell you, they never leave on time.
So usually the only time you'll have to wait for a plane is when you miss one.
What's the world coming to?
It's opening night here at Memorial Coliseum, and of course the last time we'll have an opportunity to say that, because next year it's on to the Rose Garden. So for the many memories, thank you. This is a wonderful building. And for the Blazers to step up tonight, the Phoenix Suns. Excellent in the preseason, 8-0 so far. Early go, 3-2. Injury problems. A couple of the big guns are down. A couple of the new hired hands have had to step forward, Snapper.
Well, Eddie, I'll tell you, whenever Portland and Phoenix play, you're talking about a shootout at the OK Corral, and the big gun for the Phoenix Suns has always been Charles Barkley. He'll be replaced by Danny Manning, who has plenty of big shots to fire at Portland, and in Kevin Johnson's place, Wayman Tisdale will have to step up.
And, of course, for PJ and staff, not exactly Sanford and Son rifling through some garbage. They've gotten a good lift. Blazers off to a 3-0 run. Nice getaway, and a good lift from a couple of the veteran players so far.
The best thing about the getaway is that PJ has learned that he can coach in this league. At 3-0, he feels awfully good that Clyde Drexler is back to being Clyde Drexler. Not the 1 or 2 years ago, but awfully close.
The Suns are loaded. Do we call them the Guns of the Suns, or just one son-of-a-gun good team? We'll tell you when we come back. Blazers and Suns next.
Filtered Miller Genuine Draft, the cold one. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste,
you know, I've been looking for that.
The world is a very cool place. So get out of the old and get into the cold.
Onward and upward, the awards, the honors, the accolades for the Toyota Camry continue to rise. Driven by a powerful V6 engine, precision crafted to the highest standards, Camry has risen to become the gold standard, while its starting price hasn't risen at all. Introducing the 1995 Toyota Camry, newly styled, refined, and headed for even greater heights.
Ask the guy who can move mountains, the teacher who can turn biology into theater, the parents who left a history to make a future. CAN is the reason why this country works. And the reason Bank of America introduces I Can Banking. Ways to bank however you want, where and whenever you need. The word can't may be in the dictionary, but nobody here has much use for it. Banking on America. Bank of America.
Right now, it's dessert time at the Thompsons. For years, pumpkin pie has been their favorite, and this year is no exception. So they're not even thinking how it's made with the pick of the pumpkin patch, how skilled hands made it smooth and creamy, how seasonings blended for the perfect taste. And neither is Mrs. Thompson, because this year she brought home a President's Choice pumpkin pie. Great food at lower prices every day. You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
Portland Trailblazers basketball is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. It's cold filtered. Get out of the old, get into the cold. By Portland Metro Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Fred Meyer stores. Value for your time and money. You'll find it at Fred Meyer. By Alaska Airlines, offering lots of flights and great low fares to the LA and Bay areas. By ODS, it's what you want. And by Bank of America. We're proud to be one of the sponsors of this Trailblazers game. Banking on America. Bank of America.
Center jump underway, and they'll try it again just that quickly. Has a violation call, and they'll turn the ball over. Phoenix with new traveling uniforms we'll tell you about, and the Blazers will inbound, and here we are. You see Perry and Strickland, interesting matchup. A.C. Green and B.Williams, Danny Manning and Cliff. Klein will go in the middle against Big Dudley, and of course you've got Clyde Drexler out on a wing against Stan Marley.
Well, you know, a lot of people are wondering where Kevin Johnson is, and of course he's at home with the rib cage problem, but the Suns are loaded, and we'll find out how deep they are and how Portland plays against a real first test against a quality team.
Cliff Robinson on the miss, Buck with a rebound. Cliff will try again. And he won't mark it. He's 0-2. And those spiffy new uniforms that the Suns have on are looking pretty good as Elliott Perry. There's a familiar name. We'll bring it over. Former Portland Trail Blazer cut loose. Little give and go. AC blocked by B.Williams. Hugh Hollins, Tony Nunez, and Louis Grillo will be the officials. Snapper, keys to winning.
The keys to winning defense. Both of these teams like to score the basketball, and for Portland to win it, they're going to have to pressure the guards, and we've already seen they're going to have to do a good job on the glass. Phoenix has been always a team that struggled against Portland in rebound.
And a 24-second violation as the Portland Trail Blazers defense going to work early. And another key, the team that can turn it over the fewest amount of times will be one that I'm sure will be breathing mighty fine when this one's all over. All right, R.Strickland. Clyde off to a terrific start. Blazers 3-0 and the Suns 3-2. Give him 3. That's a good start as you can get. 1 for 1, and you do it from home run country. Big Danny. Danny against Cliff, 6'10 on 6'10. And Rod with a rebound. Portland with the second best rebounding guard tandem in the league a year ago in Clyde and Rod.
But Portland doesn't want to become, and we've seen it in 3 out of the 4 shots, as a perimeter team. They can take the ball to the basket against the Suns because the Suns don't have shot blocking out there. Barkley, easily the best shot blocker now that Oliver Miller is gone. So Portland's got to think, get inside whenever they move the ball, move people.
Cliff Robinson on the foul.
Trying to come across from the weak side. He initially had a piece of the ball. The hand continued to come down. Got Danny Manning on the elbow.
Danny Manning without Barkley, of course, asked to do a few more things than he would normally have to do. But this, as well as Tisdale, quite an off-season acquisition or two here for Phoenix.
One of the reasons that everyone has said that the Phoenix Suns are a lot closer to getting that championship that they've been thirsting for this year is because they have a lot more depth. They have a lot more firepower. Portland in Portland.
Nice pass on the entry by Clyde to Cliff. And that's what'll make it work. When you get people unselfishly moving around and you make that kind of a crisp entry pass, you're off to a terrific start. And they try and flash AC on the cut, and it's knocked away on the entry attempt. And the Suns will bring it in on 16 seconds.
A.C. Green is a guy that always plays without the ball, and he's looking to take it to the basket, so you've got to make sure you're aware where he is.
There's Marley, who loves to fire up the threes on the miss. Portland with a 4-point lead early. Rod. Much better outside shot again this year. Improved last year, and more so this year. 7-1 Trailblazers.
A year ago, when Elliott Perry played his first game for the Phoenix Suns, he was huge against Portland, had 17 assists. They're paying much more attention to him this evening.
That time it was AC out along the side, and Dudley switched off and playing him, and AC hit that little fadeaway to make it a 7-3 Portland lead. Rod to Cliff. And Clyde posting, tries to turn. Marley right there. Clyde again. Oh, he looks good.
He looks healthy this year, Steve, and that in itself is a big difference over the past 2 years.
Oh, when a player relies on his legs and his quickness like Drexler, you have to have good health, and you can see with that, which was a difficult shot, he was still able to stay up in the air, have the separation between himself and Marley, turn over Dan Marley.
Marley, who is either, it seems, red hot or as cold as you can get. And, of course, when they're shooting the deep ball, he is right in the middle of it. They had 12 three-point shots in a recent game. Rod, how he can improvise in the air. Manning on the miss. 9-3 Trailblazers. That's Joe Klein. Don't look for him to do too much offensively. He'll board and try and get in people's way, and that time tried to make the pass and lost it. Buck. Nice carry-in baby hook with the left hand. And we'll have a Phoenix timeout as the 3-0 Blazers early on looking for real. 8 1/4 in the quarter. Portland 11, Phoenix 3.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. After tonight, we're gonna turn the cold one. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place. We're gonna talk again. So get out of the old and get into the cold.
Get a head start on your shopping. Shop the 3-day sale at Fred Meyer, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Save on gifts like TVs and CD players. Save from 25 to 50% on clothing for everyone on your list. Get a hot price on the bike they're asking for, and stock up on decorations and gift wrap for 3 days only. And on Saturday only, take an extra 50% off clearance prices. Don't miss the 3-day sale, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
As long as there is thirst, there's always the real thing. Coca-Cola Classic is always the one. Whenever there is fun, there's always Coca-Cola, yeah. Coca-Cola, always Coca-Cola.
Well, they backed up the truck in the offseason. Boy, they were busy. Lots of things happening in Phoenix.
Good things for these people on that page because they got to remain Phoenix Suns. Johnson, Green, Manning, Tisdale, Wesley Person. Those are all new faces. The ones that go, Richard Dumas, he's still on the disabled list as far as they're concerned. Sabalas is now a Los Angeles Laker. Oliver Miller, a Detroit Piston. Mark West, the same destination.
Big changes. Results not in yet. Trailblazers big changes. So far so good. 11-3 a lead. Dudley on Klein. I like the Blazers' chances in that matchup. Klein, a veteran, filling in until Barkley gets back and they can rotate their front line. And Manning on the drive, fouled by Chris Dudley. Dudley, that time the feet not quite moving fast enough.
In transition, they didn't get really to Elliott Perry quite early enough, and that allowed Danny Manning almost a free path to come down and get a good entry pass. Down deep, he's back at the line. What Portland has improved on has been their defense.
Well, you can see that Manning has got pretty nice credentials, and Steve, the way I see him fitting in here, he can do a lot of things, play a lot of positions.
They're hoping that Danny Manning plays all of those positions and comes up big. Portland had it, they lost it, and they get it back. But for Manning, it's a blessing because he doesn't have to be the main man. Charles Barkley is the main man on this team, and Manning will feel very comfortable not having to carry the team.
That's an excellent point. Take a little load off his shoulder. Entry pass poke-checked away by Klein, reloaded by Cliff to Rod. And it honeycombs and out. Rod tries to drop it into the lane, and there's Klein. There's the value of a Klein, just a big body taking up room. And he'll do some good things.
And Marley will dump the big three. The Blazers trying to rotate defensively and got caught just a little in between and still lead, this time 11-7.
That's when Marley is his best, when he can just square up and make that shot. Portland a little bit quick after getting a lead and not showing the offensive patience that they need to score against a team that's going to allow them to get any shot they want.
You saw quickness. Speaking of quickness, boy, Elliot Perry, what a crossover.
Good reaction by R.Strickland to save a hoop for Portland.
Marley in the crowd. Joe Klein played at Arkansas collegiately, and they turn it over. And this is a, was that a 3-second call in the lane?
3 seconds on Joe Klein. He was camped in there thinking that Dan Marley was going to take a shot.
He's got parking meters down there, Steve. Don't tell him to plug it every now and then. You're going to park, you got to pay. 11-7. Trailblazers leading. We're early on. 6:47. Opening night here at the Coliseum. That's Buck. Good turnaround. And Marley with a rebound. The Suns, since their last time out, look to be pushing it a lot quicker. And there is Joe Klein on the square up. Elliot Perry got it to him. Klein's been around 10 years. Number 1 originally Sacramento. Spent time with the Celtics. Here's Cliff. And Dudley off the 17-board night at Sacramento. And Perry with a steal and a breakaway.
Perry was laying back like a safety and read that one perfectly. Stepped into the passing lane, and he scored for the first time. Ball game is tied.
7 unanswered points by the Phoenix Suns. I like to say you can't teach quickness, and Elliot Perry has that.
The Suns are switching everything. Cliff Robinson makes them pay that time.
13-11. Trailblazers with Charles Barkley sitting on the Phoenix bench. Kevin Johnson not in town. Back to Klein. He can be dangerous when you allow him to square up like that, but you saw that he was all by himself, so the Blazers sinking away from the big man. Rod. Good if it goes, and it wouldn't count as Elliot Perry on the foul. Perry getting a good chance to perform, Steve. And, of course, PJ wasn't here when Elliot was, but nonetheless, Perry made a good showing here in Portland, but didn't make the club.
Well, it was a numbers game for Elliot Perry, and it looked as though he was going to be out of the league after he left Portland. He got the call from Phoenix because of injuries and was able to fight his way on the team. Wayman Tisdale's in for Joe Klein, and we'll get our first look at Tisdale and what offensive firepower he brings.
R.Strickland, one of the assist leaders in the NBA, the fellow up on top, a former Blazer also. And, of course, Robert Pack starting now for the Denver Nuggets. Starring is correct. 100% right. How did he slip away? I know some of you are asking that question. 14-11, Portland. Danny Manning, and he discontinued the dribble, so they'll turn it over. And Tommy Nunez. He's been around the game as long as you and I have, I think, Steve. Now, the burning question. Who is the first NBA player this year to wear a do-rag? You got a do-rag up on top to come. Maybe you and I ought to wear one night. Cover that do. Dudley.
The Trailblazers have done a lot of chasing down loose balls, and that one paid for them. Cliff Robinson looking at Hugh Holland saying he got fouled.
Good dish by Perry. Wayman on a square up. Wayman Tisdale has always caused the Portland Trailblazers problems, particularly tough on Buck on that low little right baseline turnaround with the left hand. Watch to see if he goes to it tonight.
They had a switch, and Dudley was wide open. They come back to Drexler.
And the Blazers will get called for a 3-second violation. And for Portland, they have 3 turnovers. The Suns have 4. Now, you mentioned switch. PJ does not have his defenders switching. However, the Suns play a lot of switching defense.
Well, there are different philosophies this year. In past years, I think that the Phoenix Suns have tried to stay with their own men, double up a little bit more. This year, they want to try to be more defensive-minded. One of the ways Westfall is trying to accomplish that is by switching, and that keeps everybody in front of a man. PJ, on the other hand, believes that everyone has a responsibility for their own man. They don't want to double. They want to play straight up.
Manning, obviously, their go-to guy with Barkley injured. Westfall thinking his way through it moments before as R.Strickland in the lane, and he throws up that little knuckleball, and it comes out, and the ball knocked away and out of bounds. Well, I mean, if Rod throws up that ball with no rotation, that's really something.
Well, Rod tried to aim that when he knew it was close, and he just tried to float it over the top. It caught the rim, but the guy that has really given Portland a lot of extra shots has been Dudley. He's had 17 rebounds in the last game against Sacramento. He's chasing everything right now.
Elliott Perry, and down quickly Rod trying to transition back to cover. Elliott is extremely quick. And to go along with it, a left-hander to make some maybe even a little more deceptive. And now we have a 1-point Blazer lead, and Perry will get called for the foul. Rod tried to get it right back and take it to the young man, and he drew the foul out of Elliott Perry.
They called a play for Rod to go down on the post against Perry. Perry now got 2 personal fouls. They're trying to get Trevor Ruffin in the game so that Perry doesn't pick up a third.
Now, Steve, when Trevor Ruffin comes in, the strategy would have to be to try and go right at him. We'll talk about that. Here's Perry. Stripped by Rod. And out there he comes with a bull rush off 3-on-3. And an offensive foul. Well, I'll tell you, old Danny Manning got back to the other end, covered nicely.
Well, Danny waited for R.Strickland to blink. He just held his ground and stayed right in front of him. R.Strickland gets called for a charge. The crowd here feels Danny was still moving.
What do you think?
Danny was still moving. But Danny got the call. I mean, Danny had held. He was in that position once Rod got across center court.
Suns trail by 1. Here's Trevor Ruffin. Signed as a free agent a week ago. 2 games, 32 points. Turnaround. There's that little right baseline left-hand turnaround by Wayman. And he missed it. He's shooting over a larger object. The Blazers putting Dudley on Wayman, and they've got Buck away on the other side on A.C. Green. Dudley back to Rod. Marley, Tisdale, A.C. Green, and Manning along with Ruffin. And the follow on the miss by Rod, tipped in by B.Williams. Making Cliff Robinson. That's 6 for Cliff. And the Blazers by 3.
Defensively, let's see if Portland begins to try to put some pressure on the ball, particularly with the rookie Ruffin handling. Turnover, Drexler on the street.
Wow. And that's exactly what we were mentioning or trying to get across before. You have to go at Ruffin to see if he can handle it, the free agent rookie from Hawaii.
Now, Portland has got to be more aggressive in running against the Suns. The Suns are not transitioning back that quickly, but Portland's more of a trot rather than a sprint to their offensive end of the floor. Pick and roll.
Clyde, Rod, try and reverse the ball. Get some room, and they clear out a side, so it's a 2-on-2 game now. Buck, back to Cliff. Portland 20, Phoenix 15, and Cliff with 8, but getting good looks and a nice open shot that time. This little guy's got a lot of offense, was with the Lakers as a free agent, waited there, and when KJ went down, they needed help, so Ruffin was the man. 22-15, Portland, with 1:29 in the quarter.
Schwab Country. To get you through, use the Les Schwab Winter Checklist. Snow tires, the West's largest selection of traction and all-seasons tires, studs and studdless. Chains, all types, all styles, including quick fit, easy to put on, easy to use. Snowflex, the snow tire with an amazing rubber compound. It's a Les Schwab exclusive. Batteries, winter tough, and installed free. All this and more at your winter tire headquarters, Les Schwab. For the winter of '94, we've got you covered.
In America, the biggest resource we have is waste. And our dream is making something good out of a resource that other people see no value in. We had no choice but to do something very imaginative, or we'd have just been a lumber company. But I got the people, young people, that can make those dreams come true. We utilize what people throw away. It makes an affordable product. To me, that's pretty simple.
It will reshape attitudes and turn heads. It is smart. It's about style, inside and out. It's about safety, like dual airbags, and meeting 1997 side impact standards today. It's about choice, 2 doors or 4 doors. speed of the times. This is the car. It's the all-new Tercel from Toyota.
The past couple of years, the Blazers have been devoid as far as shooting abilities. You can see where they were a year ago. Now, this is this year, 40%, but tonight, things have changed a little, Steve.
Well, I think that's by the opponent, and I think the whole idea was to try to improve the defensive end. And the Trailblazers have done that. They're number one. And holding their opponents down. You can see the Phoenix Suns right now under that league-leading 40%. Portland off to a real good start. They've fallen off that hot shooting early.
Jerome Kersey has just come into the lineup for Portland. And Cliff Robinson, with his good start, 8 points, is down. And the point we were trying to make is before that the Blazers defense has improved to the point where other teams are having a difficult time getting good shots. That's a big improvement over where they've been the last couple of years. 22-15, Trailblazers lead by 7, and 104 in the quarter. And a turnover by Marley and the Suns, and that will be number 7. Steve, interesting turnovers, a lot of them in the first quarter.
Well, there have been a lot of turnovers by both teams, and what Portland wants to do is jump Dan Marley like that. Marley's made a couple here on his own, just in the passing lane.
Under a minute in the quarter, Clyde missing on the 3. Buck and Jerome, Dudley, Clyde, and James Robinson in for Portland now. Kersey, good look, kept alive by Dudley, and finally it's Ruffin out of there with it. Marley, and foul from behind. We really got kind of sandwiched on the play, and let's see who they call it on.
Dudley.
It's going to be on Dudley, caught him from behind. Blazer lead 7. 34.5 seconds to play here in the quarter. So Dan Marley, the free throw shooter here for the Phoenix Suns. Marley had kind of an off year last year, Steve. Here was a fellow that had been real strong offensively, and now a new substitute will be coming in. This is Wesley Person. That's right, brother of Chuck. And just as good a shooter, maybe before it's all over, better. He was their number 1 pick, 23rd in the first round. Marley missing on the second. Marley, a career 75% shooter. Well, last year, his scoring average and all of his numbers were off. 22-16, Blazers, James Robinson.
Good defensive play by Ruffin.
Nice little crossover with a left hand. He's fouled by Clyde Drexler. Well, what do you do, Steve, if you're coaching against this Phoenix team and you've got a fellow like Ruffin in the game?
Well, Trevor Ruffin made a good steal at the other end of the floor and just kept the pressure on Drexler. Drexler didn't feel that he fouled him that time. But if you've got a rookie, you want to find out just how his decision-making is, so you want to try to pressure him as much as you can. This guy looks like he wants to take the ball to the basket whenever the opportunity presents itself.
Dudley will come out. James Edwards will come in. Danny Shays has also come in for Phoenix. Well, you talk about a guy that's been recycled a few times. Danny Shays is a classic. He's in there right now. So Edwards and Shays, a couple of veterans. Danny, 14 years. And James Edwards, 18 years.
Well, we're down to 10 seconds in the first quarter of play. Portland will hold for the final shot.
Clyde on the cut. Gets from James. Over Shays and bumped by Danny Shays. And Danny is saying, hey, you give the Stars that kind of a call. You won't give it to me. But Danny evidently has been a nice addition for them, Steve. You know, they didn't have a lot of size.
That's another big body. I mean, when they talk about fouls that are expendable against teams with great centers, Shays comes into play, as well as Joe Klein. And then they come back with their smaller team. But in that case, Drexler was coming around the corner, really looking to make a play if the shot wasn't there. And Shays just bumped into him to give him a free scoring chance. Another 2 for Clyde.
Clyde with 9. Less than a second in the quarter, and that'll do it. And at the end of 1, for Blazer fans, so far, so good. Portland 24, Phoenix 17.
For this customer, the question is, how to take a shower without getting soaked. My shower head is as old as my husband. Would it pay to get a new one? Shower head, that is.
Find out about shower heads and other energy-saving ideas in our new guidebook. It's free. Just call 1-800-222-4335. We've got the right answers for real people.
I'm concerned about cost. Our people want coverage, but they got to be able to afford it, too. We all have to be able to.
I understand that. I think that's probably the most universal thing happening with employers today is just being concerned about the cost.
It's got to be.
And legitimately so. The costs are going up very rapidly. We are very concerned about the cost, but I think along with that, you have to remember that your employees also need to be treated like human beings. And we have to be very careful that we don't get so cost-conscious that we forget that people really need good, solid treatment.
Are you short on time, money, and ideas for the holidays? Well, here's another Fred Meyer recipe for holiday dressing. Recipe number 16, the neighborhood bash. Start with a measure of warmth. Toss in fresh greens. Add a hint of gold. Yours for under $80. That holiday look, you'll find it at Fred Meyer.
The new BP Visa card is causing quite a stir because now it automatically rebates 3% of every BP gasoline purchase toward free BP gasoline. Plus, use it as a Visa and you earn more free gasoline, up to $300 worth a year. So take a vacation, earn free gasoline. Dinner out, earn free gasoline. Same with all your shopping and no annual fee. Get the new BP Visa. Call 1-800-BP-VISA-1. BP. On the move.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Coca-Cola Classic. Always a winner, always Coca-Cola. By Payless Drugstores, because you deserve more than a drugstore. And by GTE. With GTE, it's amazing what we can do together.
We're back at the Coliseum for the second quarter. Blazers 24, the Phoenix Suns 17. Wayman Tisdale, who signed on this year with the Suns, along with Wes Person. It'll be Dan Marley, Trevor Ruffin, and Danny Shays for Phoenix. And James Edwards will start in the middle, and an illegal defense called against the Trailblazers. Mark Bryant, James Robinson, Jerome Kersey, and Tracy Murray are on for P.J. Carlesimo.
That illegal defense called against Mark Bryant below the line. Wayman Tisdale was above it. They come back to Tisdale inside.
He loves that right baseline, the left-hander does. We have a loose ball foul.
Maybe it's the number 24. They've both been tagged here early. Danny Shays picks up his second personal foul. Chris Dudley already has his two, and he's sitting on the bench.
Can't get no respect, those number 24s. There's no respect at all. Here's James. Second-year man against the rookie Ruffin. Found himself in a sweet position. Suns needed a man, and he signed on. Edwards. Now, James Edwards can shoot that shot as well as anyone. You give him an opportunity to shoot that little turnaround. He's tough. 26-17, and that is where he will help the Trailblazers.
Well, there was some talk in Philadelphia that Maurice Cheeks might be coming back, but the difference is centers don't play against quicker people. They play against guys that are about the same size. And even though Cheeks feels that he's physically fit, he's not sure he wants to step back into the shoes and chase the quicker players. Marley coming down the lane against Jerome Kersey. Kersey picks up his first personal foul.
26-17. There he is, Dan Marley. 16.5 points a game last year. A.C. Green has come back. He averaged close to 15 last year with the Suns and re-signed this year. Those new road uniforms we talked about earlier. These are basic color black, whereas last year they wore basic color purple, and they have those also. You can have up to 3 uniforms, and more teams are going that way, but you have to wear each of the road uniforms at least 12 games apiece. Don't ask me why. It's all in the numbers. 26-19. Blazers with the lead. Jerome can't get the rebound. Here comes Marley.
If the Suns are going to make a move, it'll be against Portland's second unit, which has been up and down at the offensive end.
Ruffin. And Marley trying to follow over the back of Bryant and bumped it out of bounds. Philadelphia losing to Detroit by 1, 99-98. Blazers lead here by 7, 26-19, 10.5 in the half.
AC Green with a good reaction saved a chance for James Robinson to score. He stepped in the passing lane, so Portland's got to start coming to the basketball.
Suns look like they're trying to spread the floor more to give one-on-one action. And this time they catch James Edwards. And the second team foul, and Danny Ainge will come in for the first time.
This is bad territory for James Edwards. He's stuck way, way too far out on the floor against Wesley Person. Person did the right thing, try to get to the rim. Danny Ainge in the ball game for the first time.
Just off the strep throat. First time back, Danny on the attempt. And with a miss, looks like he's lost a little weight. Murray. And it's blocked.
Person's got a piece of it.
This kid here is a terrific #1 pick, averaging over 12 points a game already. Tisdale, nice fake in the drive. And after he got by Bryant, taken away by the inner defense of the Trailblazers. James Robinson. Boy, you talk about pure as maple syrup. That was nice.
This is a player that you've always really liked his skills, and we'll find out how he responds to some serious playing time, because Carlissimo likes him as well.
They ran that little screen down, and Tisdale popping out. Danny Ainge on the assist, 28-21, Trailblazers. Back to an open Tracy Murray. Missing on the 3, and it'll go back to the Phoenix Suns. So both teams now, field goal shooting not real good. Blazers 41, Phoenix 33%. And I'm sure that PJ is a little concerned at the way they're shooting the ball, but nonetheless still leading by 7.
When they've been in trouble here in the preseason and the early part of the regular season, they've been able to shut teams down and go on a run. Not happy with that wide open look that Danny Ainge just got.
You don't give a 38% career three-point shooter that easy an open look. And he got it and hit it. And now it's a 4-point Blazer lead.
Portland has been content to stay outside, and that's allowed Phoenix to pack it in.
Jerome, whose game has changed over the last couple of years, shooting it deep. Ainge will bring him within 1. So it's 28-27. Trailblazer lead has slipped to 1 with less than 8.5 in the half. And then Danny Ainge with 6. And the Trailblazers will take a timeout. Adjust the D and get ready. 28-27, Trailblazers.
You know, living out here is uneventful.
Yeah, nice and quiet.
Something happens every now and then.
Fortunately, you and country companies keep things from becoming catastrophes.
Country companies. It's nice to know when it matters most, the country's behind you.
You're even helping us plan for our future.
If we make it that far.
Classically trained, Danny Ainge, Gary Payton, Lionel Hollins, Magic Johnson. Who will be next? Find out December 27th and 28th when the Northwest Ford Far West Classic comes to Memorial Coliseum. Oregon State, University of Oregon, Notre Dame, and George Washington University will go head-to-head in the 1994 Northwest Ford Far West Classic, the tournament that's been a holiday tradition since 1959. Get your tickets now at the Coliseum box office and at all Ticketmaster locations.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft, the cold one. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place. So get out of the old and get into the cold.
No Barkley, no KJ, but I guarantee you that PJ Carlissimo is not taking Phoenix lightly.
We'll talk about that more tonight. Our guys understand, and I think it's an opportunity. I mean, it just seems that over the years, when you get situations like that, somebody else steps in, and it never turns out the way you think. But I mean, let's be realistic. To play Phoenix without those two is an advantage for us, and we have to seize the opportunity.
And we are back live, 28-27. Blazers lead by 1. Tisdale from Person. Oh, that was a nice pass by Person. Blazers, incidentally, in the quarter, 0 for 4 from the floor. So that field goal shooting has got to improve.
Well, the second unit was out there when they lost the lead, and now there's a composite team after Cliff Robinson, R.Strickland as starters, along with Tracy Murray, Mark Bryant, and James Edwards. But the Phoenix Suns now become the aggressor behind Danny Ainge and Wayman Tisdale in the quarter.
Well, they've had 2 8-0 runs in the game that have gotten them back in. And that's where they are right now, an 8-0 run. And they miss here, and Tracy Murray will get. Rod is back for James Robinson is out. James Edwards, Cliff Robinson. And Tracy Murray. Good fake by Person. Boy, you don't see him miss those very often. 29-28, the Phoenix Suns by 1. AC Green. And he probably took 30 of those before the game and maybe missed 6. Not this time. Rod. And Murray will get called for the shove on the loose ball foul against the youngster Wesley Person. Person on getting a good run early here. 6'6", 195 from Auburn. Clyde and Dudley have returned to the Trailblazer lineup. 29-28, the Phoenix Suns.
So far in this quarter, the Suns have been able to move the ball, get shots for people in areas where they can hurt you. Tisdale.
This time from the left side, but there it is, that little turnaround post up, that from a shorter distance, and Tisdale with 8 points, and he has hurt Portland on countless occasions.
Well, it's been 6 1/4. Portland trying to come back inside. Danny Ainge is getting called for the foul. It's Wesley Person down low, but it's been a 12-0 run, and Portland has had those kind of shutouts against their opponents for the last 2:48.
31-28, Clyde at the line. Blazers trailing in it. We have 6:36 to play in the first half. I'm sure PJ really not pleased with the way the second unit played, as Danny Manning comes in and Dan Marley will go away for Paul Westphal.
A lot of interchangeable parts, and Marley went down from the guard position to the forward. Manning comes in to replace him and will play the small forward position with Wayman Tisdale and AC Green in the power position for Phoenix.
Well, they get all their guns back, i.e. Kevin Johnson and Barkley. You talk about versatility. They can do a lot of different things. Tisdale again. There's that little post-up move. Manning bumps it back to Person. And a good look, but the rebound comes off to Dudley. 1 point, Phoenix lead. Nice quick entry pass for the Blazers. And Cliff dumps it back out and over to Mark Bryant. And there'll be a loose ball foul called against the Trailblazers. Well, they got their signals a little bit mixed up. Danny Manning will get this one. So Manning has 2, and the Suns have a pair. In the second quarter, halfway home. Rod from Clyde. Look out! Oh, my. Oh, my. Tisdale coming over to defend on Rod on his backdoor effort. And nothing under him on the way down.
Well, one of the toughest guys in the NBA. He gets caught right on the elbow and pulled down. It's a flagrant foul against Tisdale. Tisdale never made a play for the ball, coming clearly across the arm and the chest of R.Strickland, who goes down and is writhing in pain, but he had a clear layup.
Boy, this guy
yanked to the floor.
You talk about a fellow that takes a beating all the time, R.Strickland. It's amazing that he doesn't get hurt more often.
20 seconds.
And the Blazers taking a 22nd timeout now. And R.Strickland up. I am constantly amazed at his resiliency. And there's Wayman Tisdale, who looks like he could be kind of a villain, but I got to tell you, he's a pretty nice fella.
In real life, he's a pretty nice fella. All right, let's take 5 seconds.
You're watching KGW-TV, Channel 8 Portland, home of the Trailblazers.
The network. Here's where we are. 5:55 to play in the first half. Phoenix by 1. R.Strickland has been sent to the bench on the far side to be examined. And a flagrant foul has been called here on Wayman Tisdale.
Well, they're trying to find out right now. Strickland comes out. He's going to shoot his free throws. Gets taped up. And Tisdale, who has not had the reputation of being a dirty player, late on that play, comes out, exchanges taps with Strickland, and Strickland has that wrist taped up, and we'll find out, one, how he shoots with it, whether it stiffens up on him as the game progresses.
Hey, we're right back at these fellas on Friday. The Blazers at Phoenix in the Valley of the Sun, and you can see it right here at 6 o'clock on your Blazers television network. And, of course, hopefully Rod will be able to participate in that one. He seems to be all right now, and makes them both. So R.Strickland, with the wrist tape, gives the Blazers a 32-31 lead. But the bench points, and boy, oh boy, the Phoenix bench, this shows you their depth, and they still are missing 2 of their big people as they come off the bench and hammer the Blazers bench 15-4.
This is supposed to be a team that's a little long in the tooth, but that veteran ability to know how to play has paid off for them, with Tisdale and Ainge providing most of those big points, 6 points apiece for each one of those players.
They've had a couple of runs, an 8-pointer and a 12-point run, and that has gotten them back into the ballgame on 2 occasions. Clyde, good rebound by Cliff, strong to the rack. 34-31 in traffic. That's what you like to see Cliff Robinson do a little more of. He has 10, Blazers by 3. Tisdale on the post, and they'll be on his back all night long. And now he's on Dudley's back and gets the foul. Now Wayman catches the foul. Wayman has never been known to be an aggressive fellow, Steve.
Well, he missed a shot. He thought he should have made it, and he saw a chance to come back and get to it. Westfall wanted a jump ball, but he came over the top to get it, so Chris Dudley goes to the line. Tisdale picks up his 2nd personal foul. 8 points in a ball game for Tisdale, so some firepower is going to leave the game for Paul Westfall.
And with 5:25 to play in the half, the Suns are over the foul limit, and the Blazers on Dudley. Dudley's effort here going to the line. Dudley with a 3-point lead, not trying to stretch it for his team.
So far, Dudley could say his free throw percentage was better than his field goal percentage, but he has done a job on the glass. He's amongst the league leaders, and they're hoping that he has good health for the rest of the season and stays there.
How can you go past the name Popeye Jones without stopping for a moment? What a name for a rebound. Popeye. Tisdale on the 2nd miss gets the rebound. And he'll give to Elliott Perry. 2nd run on the floor for him. Marley to Manning. Clear out. Works on Cliff.
Where you'd like to see Portland really get aggressive is after they get the rebound. Push and see if the Suns are going to get back.
And he comes right back and delivers. Boy, you talk about a fella that just won't give up. R.Strickland, not gun shy at all. He has 7. Blazers lead by 5. He tried to deliver the knockout punch on Rodney. No chance. And now a little struggle between A.C. Green and Clyde Drexler off the Mark Bryant off the ball.
But A.C. Green is going to draw some contact. He locked up with Bryant. Bryant ended up trying to push off, picks up the personal foul.
That is the 4th team foul on Portland, and the 1st on Mark Bryant. My man over here, Baby Fast Stat Cell 1, Kevin Aiken, give me the numbers. The original Fast Stat, Johnny's on the other side.
Nice tip in, Danny Manning.
Manning showing you more of that versatility. Inside, outside, he can pass the ball, defend. Boy, I tell you, he is a very versatile fellow. 36-33, Trailblazers lead by 3.
one of the matchups Portland should try to take advantage of is A.C. Green, who is guarding Cliff Robinson. Robinson down on a post-up should be able to get a good inside shot.
And what do we have here? An over and back. Over the top is what it is, and so the Blazers will take the ball, or will drop back defensively, and Phoenix will bring it over. Perry, no looks to Marley. Clyde on the cover. Dream Team members. And Perry is called for the offensive foul on the reach around. He's got 3, little Elliott.
A hook now, right now with 3 personal fouls, they should be gone. But they let Danny Ainge get off the bench to get him out. Normally, the official does not hold the ball. The player has to be in the box. That's old-style NBA officiating right there.
Yeah, Mendy Rudolph would be loving it if he were watching us from up above. Cliff Robinson on the miss, followed by Buck Williams in the crowd. He'll get the 2. He'll draw the foul. They are over the limit. He will go to the line, and the Blazers lead by 5.
The strength of Portland has been rebounding the basketball at the offensive end, and Buck Williams slides inside Dan Marley, and he'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
Here's Buck. Free throw shooting a little less than what he's doing from the floor. And, of course, Buck had improved that for a few years, but he slipped back a little last year, and now he makes a 3-point play for his 5th point of the game, and the Blazer lead is back to 6. Miami with a win over Dallas tonight. Marley. There's so many Dannys on this team that Danny Manning says, call me D. Manning. And D. Manning just scored 2. 39-35. D. Manning with 6. Danny Ainge defending.
That's Strickland's advantage over Danny Ainge. Ainge just gave too much ground, took him deep. Strickland's got 6 1/4.
Cellular One fast stats tell us that he has 9. And an illegal defense. That's the second call against the Trailblazers.
Tisdale went out again, and the center position didn't come out, so Chris Dudley was stuck back inside. It'll be the second one. There'll be a technical.
Danny Ainge is using technical. This is a pretty good free throw shooter right here. Danny Ainge, 84% career. Former Blazer, former Celtic, former King, and now happy as he can be in the Valley of the Sun. 41-36, Portland with the lead. Ainge on the free throw, good. We have a timeout. Tracy looking on, Blazers by 5.
It is an experience above all else. It is Avalon. Toyota technology taken to a new level of excellence. A world of superior comfort, room, and refined driving performance. Avalon, the new flagship from Toyota. Built exclusively in America. Experience the tranquility.
Imagine you have to fly between Portland and Seattle.
And imagine this is a big jet with room for a cajillion passengers. Now imagine this is a Horizon Air Dash 8 with room for 37 and in-flight service.
Let's see what happens. Okay. Just a wild hunch here, but it occurs to me that the Horizon Dash 8 gets you in and out faster and easier than a big bus. Did I say bus? I meant big jet. What was I thinking?
I'm Florence Bogart of Federal Way, Washington. I'm not ready for any rocking chair. I'm busy jamming most of the time. I love to go out and play for people in the nursing homes and the senior centers. I've had a very busy life.
Busy people don't have time to worry about their prescriptions. That's why Payless Drugs offers PharmaFacts, a handy folder with all the information you need.
When I die, I'm going to be playing the guitar and doing the Charleston at the same time.
Yes, sir. Some happy days down there in Eugene. I know you feel good about it, Steve Snapper Jones.
Well, it's not just happy days in Eugene. I think it's all over the state. Gangrene has taken things by storm, and they're smelling roses right now. Portland and the front line shooting has gotten just a little bit of an edge on the Phoenix Suns, but both of them, nothing to write home about.
Yeah, Phoenix coming in 48% as a team, Blazers 47%. Not so tonight, and I wouldn't say it's because of exceptional defense either, just cold shooting. Tisdale on the miss, thought he was fouled. Gets no call from Nunez. And the Blazers will give to Rod, who miraculously is up. He'll work it with a left hand instead of the right hand, and that sore right wrist.
Well, it may be stiffening up on him because he likes to handle the ball with the right.
B.Williams, a little frog leg jumper that time, gets his 7th, and the Blazers lead 43-36 by 7 points. But it's been the Phoenix bench that's been able to get them back in it, outscoring Portland 16-4 so far tonight. The starters have done a nice job of maintaining the lead when they've been in there for the Trailblazers. Tisdale on the back down in the 3rd illegal defense called against the Trailblazers. PJ, I'm sure, has tried to school his fellas on the procedure below the foul line with the new rules this year, but it's going to take a while.
Well, it's going to take some time to break some old habits, and this one's going to be called against R.Strickland as Tisdale works his way back in. You see on the other side, there comes R.Strickland creeping into the picture. He has to stay out of the lane, or he has to go to the ball, and he was stuck in no man's land.
Danny Ainge, meanwhile, missed the technical foul that you get from everything on the second violation on.
Trying to get another foul against Chris Dudley. Tisdale doesn't get that one to go.
Tisdale down, stumbling around. Blazers with a one-man advantage, and Clyde unloads. B.Williams with a strong rebound. And in his attempt to get it back in, Manning to Tisdale, an easy pair. And Wayman, who was down on the floor, is hobbling back to the other end. Wayman Tisdale, 6'9" and 260. He was the 2nd player picked overall in the draft when he came out of Oklahoma.
Well, he's hurting right now, and the Trailblazers need to try to get to the basket or get Dudley in there where he can take advantage of the fact that Tisdale is either sprained an ankle or banged a knee or something, but he's hobbling pretty good.
Hey, by the way, don't forget Payless Drugstore's 1st to the 4th Blazer scorer tonight. The subject will be Cliff Robinson. And Jill Robinette of Creswell, Oregon, is the one who is on the block tonight. She says Cliff will score the first Blazer points of the 4th quarter. If in fact he does, she wins $1,000. If she doesn't, we bump the jackpot $250. And of course, Jill will receive a couple of tickets to a Blazer home game and a $100 gift certificate from Payless Drugstores. That's coming up early on in the 4th quarter. 43-38, Trailblazers still lead with 1:39 to play here in the first half.
Tisdale hobbles off. He wanted to stay out there. He felt he had it cooking, and that means Big Joe Klein will come back in the game. Now, Eddie, we've gone almost 24 minutes, and you, the great observer that you are, have not noticed there's a fashion statement being made by these Phoenix Suns.
Well, I like it. No, I have. I said it early on.
No, you haven't.
The uniforms?
No, the socks. You haven't noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Black socks. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, those are as ugly as Grandma's bloomers. Those things are nasty. 43-38, and the Blazers with a come away on the entry attempt. Look at AC sneak back there and try and get a hand in. And here comes R.Strickland.
They want to play, and let's see if they come to Cliff Robinson down on a post against Danny Manning. They're going to get an illegal defense this time against the Suns.
Yeah. Joe Klein was the man that got tagged. Paul Westball looking on. Scotty Robertson is the gentleman off to our right, off to Paul's left.
Another illegal defense. You can see 2 Suns in the lane. It's pretty easy to spot that. R.Strickland, the hot man in a quarter for the Trailblazers. He's got 8-11 in the game.
R.Strickland picks up a 2-pointer, and the Blazers lead 45-38.
Turnover.
Manning, remember what I said about turnovers earlier. R.Strickland down Broadway. Partially deflected, and then Marley kicks the ball off the foot. Boy,
Bad pass from Joe Klein, though. He tried to throw him a bounce pass, and it hit his leg. Marley did a good job of getting R.Strickland to accelerate just a little bit too quickly. Couldn't control the shot off the glass. Portland fortunate to get it back.
Trailblazers working the rebounds to their advantage while Phoenix is running a fast break. But both teams turning the ball over altogether too much. Portland 11 turnovers and the Suns 12.
And Cliff trying to unload as the clock is running down. Under 30 seconds in the first half. And Manning loses the handle.
They call for one.
Under 20 seconds to play now here in the first half. Rod will sit out on top and try and orchestrate. Dudley on Klein. Rod on Ainge. Clyde against Marley. Klein will come out and double on the ball. Rod trapped in the corner. There's Cliff. With less than 2 seconds on the clock, he hits the three and then steals the pass length of the floor. And the Blazers will go to halftime with a 10-point lead, their biggest of the game. Portland 48, Phoenix 38 from the Memorial Coliseum at halftime.
.320 Oak Lane, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Mail it to 2300 Playa, San Antonio, Texas.
There really is no place like home. And many Americans own theirs today in part because of Fannie Mae. We make sure mortgage lenders have money to lend for homes. And we provide a free guide to help you decide if you're ready to buy. Call 1-800-688-HOME and Fannie Mae will put you on the path to home ownership.
Morning, Harding Industries.
Hi, is Gene in?
Gene is on the road this week. Can I take a message?
You're out of the office. But that doesn't mean you have to be out of touch.
Well, it's very important I get a hold of her.
I can give you her cellular number.
That's because Cellular One covers more of the Northwest than any other cellular provider and puts out more fires.
Gene, good thing I found you.
With the poached pears steaming and the turkey ready for carving, the Bradley family is gathering once again to share a holiday meal. At a moment like this, they're not thinking about how they saved on the whole meal at Fred Meyer, and that's okay. The Bradleys can just keep on enjoying the foods they love, and we'll keep on bringing them to them. Great food at lower prices every day. You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
Good morning, doctors.
Good morning.
We made an interesting find yesterday.
Video conferencing from GTE lets an archaeologist present moving images, text, even himself.
What do you think?
To an anthropologist
Can we get a closer look?
1,000 miles away.
Any ideas?
And an historian across the country.
Great. We'll meet again tomorrow.
Video conferencing from GTE brings people and information together instantly. Another way, it's amazing what we can do together.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Les Schwab Tire Centers, where their business is earning your trust. By your area BP station, BP on the move throughout Oregon. And by Cellular One, featuring the Northwest's only digital cellular network. Imagine no limits.
Hey, it's halftime, and for Blazer fans, good news here. 10-point lead here as the opening night ceremonies at the Memorial Coliseum, I'm sure, have made a lot of people feel good. And despite the fact, Steve, that the Blazers had comfortable leads and gave them away on 2 occasions, they finished strongly in the first half.
Well, it's been the first unit that's done the job for them. In this game, you would have thought that there'd be a lot more scoring. There hasn't been much. Let's take a look at the first half highlights, and we'll show you some of the better plays by both teams. R.Strickland, who is one of the better penetrators in the ball game, missing an opportunity, but Portland noted for their board work. It gets a follow by Cliff Robinson. Cliff has worked inside and out, and the Portland defense has been quick in the passing lane. They've had quick hands. This time it's R.Strickland with the deflection and an easy 2 for Drexler in the open court.
R.Strickland, incidentally, with 11 points in the first half, showing a lot of resiliency after taking a big tumble. Danny Ainge came in and gave him an early lift, and then Tisdale took over.
Well, the second unit gave the Phoenix Suns life, and those 2 guys, Tisdale and Ainge, gave them 12 points between them, and in a sturge where they outscored Portland 12-0, they were the guys that did all of the damage.
They have 2 big guns down in Barkley and KJ, but they've got plenty left, and here's one of them, Danny Ainge.
For Danny Ainge, this line is like stealing, and anytime you back off of him, he's going to pull up because he's got the green light. Now, after Strickland was knocked down, it seemed to give him a wake-up call. He got more aggressive at the offensive end and had a huge second half of the second quarter after being knocked down.
Good setup. Cliff finishes in big style, and the Blazers with a 10-point lead at the end of the first half. They rebounded well. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but a 10-point lead is plenty nice. And right now, we're going to turn it over to Craig Walker, who'll take us through halftime. Blazers leading by 10.
This is Coliseum Spotlight. The Winterhawks take the ice on Wednesday for the first of 3 home games this week. Game time, 7 p.m. Don't miss exciting college basketball action at this year's Northwest Ford Far West Classic, December 27th and 28th. Game times are 6:30 p.m. and 8:45 p.m. Olympic medalist Scott Hamilton and Katarina Witt grace the ice when Stars on Ice comes to the Memorial Coliseum on January 10th. Tickets for these events are available at all G.I. Joe's Ticketmaster locations and the Coliseum box office.
Now that the Pagemaster is here, people of all ages want to recreate the experience.
You, sir, need adventure! Danger! Fantasy! Horror! Romance! Comedy! And one more thing!
Yes, now at Pizza Hut, get the Pagemaster Meal Deal. One of 4 Pagemaster games, plus a large 2-topping pizza, 2-liter Pepsi, breadsticks, and more. All for just $12.99.
Wait! Didn't show me your library card.
It's the Franz Bread Trailblazer Sweepstakes. You could win one of 50 fantastic prizes, including 30 pairs of Blazers game tickets, 15 limited edition 25th anniversary books, or 5 autographed leather basketballs. To enter, look for the entry blanks and contest information on loaves of Franz or Williams premium white bread. It's your chance to win Blazers tickets, a 25th anniversary book, or a Blazers autographed basketball. Enter the Franz Bread Trailblazer Sweepstakes today. No purchase necessary.
Oh, no, not the winter of 92 again. In 94, not to worry. At Les Schwab, we feature a full line of winter tough batteries in stock. A battery for every start, no matter what the weather. You'll like the price, and you'll like the installation. It's free. Just like in tires, your place for winter tough batteries is Les Schwab. For whatever you drive.
There's only one beer with pure refreshment written all over it. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft and MGD Light. Why so many people are getting out of the old and into the cold.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
This is the Bank of America downtown branch at 5th and Main. Bank of America, a major corporate sponsor of the Blazers on and off the court in this 94-95 season. Welcome to another series of halftimes of Blazer games. We'll tell you about all the great things going on off court for Blazer fans. Bank of America this year sponsoring the Blazers legendary lineup sweepstakes. All of us who've been Blazer fans these 25 years can't help to have put together our own legendary Blazer lineup. This is where you can win some great prizes. Stop by any Bank of America and fill out one of these entry forms. They have some of the names listed here. You put your name, your address, and mark your legendary team. Drop it in here, and now listen to the prizes you can win. You can win, first of all, season tickets to next year's Blazer new first season in the arena. Also a $2,500 certificate of deposit. There's Blazer cable packages and some other great prizes. Don't forget, you need to sign up at your nearest neighborhood B of A branch. And here's the important thing. The deadline is the 3rd of December. Here's an 8-ounce bottle of Coke. First of all, you don't see these much anymore, but there is a reason. Coca-Cola on this side, and one of 6 special commemorative things on another. This is the Blazer 25th anniversary logo. Also available, C.Drexler's commemorative bottle and others. These are available right now at local retailers, but there's a very limited supply. So if you want to get all 6 of the special commemorative 8-ounce editions of Coca-Cola, be sure to stop by your local Coke retailer and start your collection today. There is no better place to talk about bread than a bank, and it's just in time, the Franz Bread Trailblazer Sweepstakes. Some great prizes this year. First of all, 30 pair of Trailblazer tickets. Also, 15 limited edition Portland Trailblazer 25th anniversary books. And get this, 5 autographed leather basketballs. Great prizes. Here's the really easy part. You can get contest information and entry blanks on any loaf of Franz or Williams premium white bread. I've been looking forward to showing this to you. It's Rip City, a quarter century with the Portland Trail Blazers, the perfect coffee table book, and a limited edition. 3 versions of it. There's a general, a limited, and a special limited edition leather-bound model. You have to call in and reserve your copy. I have the phone number for you. It's 1-800-95-TRAIL. This is a beautiful book. I'm looking forward to my own. Rip City, a quarter century with the Portland Trail Blazers. The whole story of the team from the beginning. Our thanks to the Bank of America for the use of their 5th and Main branch for tonight's halftime. Oh, when you stop in and open a Blazer banking checking account, it's free till the year 2000. You also get one of these special edition 25th anniversary Blazer logo checkbook covers, and inside you get the Blazer checks too. What a great package. We'll see you Friday night for the next Blazer halftime. Same 2 teams, only Friday night it'll be from their court in the Valley of the Sun. And now back to the second half of the Portland Trail Blazers and the Phoenix Suns. Thanks for joining us.
Jeff Skult can check his accounts without a bank on the horizon. Colleen Taylor can show kids a new way to see instead of making a deposit. Bank of America introduces I Can Banking. More choices on how, where, and when you can bank, and people to help make it happen. Because if someone asks what an American believes in, the short answer is, I can. Banking on America. Bank of America.
I think that's probably the most common concern about employers today. We have really tried to be flexible when it comes to this issue of costs, because we're very sensitive to the fact that a large number of dollars are going to a few people on chronic illnesses. And we try to take some of our dollars that might otherwise go for expensive hospital care and move them into home care where we can, because we find the patients are also much more comfortable at home. They're much more happy to be there with their loved ones, and it allows us to get them just as good a care for an awful lot less money.
My dad's a doctor, and you have to be real smart to be a doctor. Well, my dad fixes cars, and he's a lot smarter than your dad, because a doctor only has 2 models to fix, men and women, and they never change. My dad has to know how to fix hundreds of car models, and they change every year.
Well, my dad helps your dad keep your dad's car running right, and that's his door.
CarQuest, preferred by professional automotive technicians.
There's something happening here. What it is exactly clear. Now stop children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Get out of the old and get into the cold.
Tonight's game is brought to you by ODS. It's what you want. By Bank of America. We're proud to be one of the sponsors of this Trailblazers game. Banking on America. Bank of America. By Miller Genuine Draft Light. The cold-filtered light with smooth draft taste. MGD Light. Say no more. By Fred Meyer Stores. Value for your time and money. You'll find it at Fred Meyer. By Portland Metro Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Horizon Air, with shuttle flights every half hour between Portland and Seattle.
This is a KGW Northwest News Channel 8 update.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jim Benneman. We'll get back to those Blazers in just a minute, but first, tonight's headlines on the news channel. The election was a week ago, but ballot measure 8, the one that would force state employees to pay into their own retirement, well, it's still undecided. As you can see, the yeses and nos fewer than 1,000 votes apart. That one's going right down to the wire. Also very tight in the 1st District congressional race. Incumbent Democrat Elizabeth Furr leading Bill Witt, the Republican, by only 256 votes. Final results are expected by Thursday. A cougar is leaving its mark on a subdivision in Gresham. The big cat tore up a tree, and that's making homeowners very nervous. That's because there are a lot of kids in the neighborhood.
Just the power behind that cat. I can just imagine what it can do to, children.
The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife sees no threat to human safety, but they're keeping a close eye on it. Now back to the Blazers. We'll be back tonight at 11.
Halftime. Blazers by 10, 48-38. So far, so good for Blazer fans. We've seen a lot of good things and a couple of other things that they could improve upon.
Well, the Trailblazers always like to have some balance, and that's the story for this first half. Tisdale and Ains off the bench. They have provided the spark in what would be a balanced attack for low scoring. C.Robinson, with that three-pointer, ends up being Portland's leading scorer, followed by Drexler and R.Strickland. Marley and Manning, the leading rebounders. Portland has some better numbers than B.Williams, but R.Strickland in the rebound as well. Should be watching those field goal percentage shooting. Both teams down for teams that got a lot of firepower. Portland leads in rebounding, and the bench, big advantage right now for the Phoenix Suns.
And more of that action coming up. Blazers by 10.
It's filled seats and trophy cases. It's made hearts pound and feet scramble. And at times, every eye in the arena has been on it. But this year, it will affect Portland in a much different way. One home at a time. The Trailblazers and Fannie Mae have formed Portland's home team, a partnership to revitalize neighborhoods in Portland. And that's a goal worth shooting for.
All right, we get set to go to the second half. There are the Blazers coming out. R.Strickland, apparently they did a little work on him, and the wrist still heavily taped. Blazers have done a pretty good number on the Suns here in Portland.
When you call domination, that's not a pretty good number. That's domination, 27 out of 30.
I still think it's a pretty good number. and of course, vice versa, the Suns seem to have a pretty nice edge on the Blazers in Phoenix. Dick Harder talking to PJ. Rick Carlisle off to the right of the screen talking to someone else as they ready the strategy here for the second half. Barkley. He talked about Westfall. Westfall said, man, there's a lot of pressure on me this year. And Barkley said, no, pressure's something you put in tires. We'll see what happens for the Suns this season. Elliot Perry, and bumped right away. Danny Manning actually setting a screen is called, and that'll be the third on Danny Manning. So right away, the Suns get the foul, and the Blazers bring it back. It's Steve, Mike, and Kathy Tarabucchia over there in Warrenton, Ohio. Are big fans of the Blazers, so we'll say hello to them as Cliff on the miss.
Calling at a travel. Cliff Robinson trying to get his own miss. The ball didn't hit the rim. So both teams come out a little slow, but there's been a change in the starting lineup for the Phoenix Suns. Aaron Swinson, 6'5" forward from Auburn, starting Joe Klein on the bench.
Okay, now Swinson's job is to get physical. This is a guy that is known for his tenaciousness and toughness. A free agent walk-on who played college with West Person. No one took a shot on him in the shot at him in the draft. He made this team. They loved him. And they put him on the injured list initially, and now he's been activated, and here he goes tonight. Swinson is, as Steve said, 6'5", but a tough kid handling and going to Perry.
Oh, come on!
And look at Dudley, and really getting tied up with A.C. Green underneath. To Rod, terrific improvisational move by Strickland.
Dudley's going to pick up the foul. They're trying to chase, coming in, hand in the back. So Dudley picks up his third personal foul. Rod Strickland just didn't finish that play, and over the top and with a hand underneath, Dudley got caught.
Oh, Elliot Perry will bring it over. All right, back to Dan Marley. Clyde fights through the screen. Dudley doubles up on top and then jumps back down in the hole. Marley on the miss, and Cliff with the retrieve. Out ahead. Look at the athletic play by Clyde. And changing with the ball to the left hand and missing.
Well, that's two layups Portland should have had and didn't. As Drexler chased that one down, but it wouldn't stay. Turnover almost.
And good defense by Cliff Robinson to prevent Marley from getting the easy look on the baseline. Manning.
This game is not like Week 11 in the NFL, where the big game was Dallas and San Francisco, and it turned out to be all that was supposed to be. This is an early season game against two teams that should be amongst the West best, but a lot of turnovers here in this one.
Yeah, this is not a go game, believe me. Back to Marley. Missing the three. B.Williams, here we are. Still nothing's happened, and we've played over 2 minutes in the second half. No scoring.
This is a stretch in which Portland could break it open. If they could finish some layups, because the Suns are slow in getting back, they would have a chance to steal it. Cliff Robinson right at the rim.
And there he is. And And it was the effort by Perry to save, but he saved to the wrong team. And they tapped it inside, and Cliff Robinson is going down and knocking on wood as the Phoenix Suns will call for a 22nd timeout. And Paul Westphal is over there saying, hey guys, this is the NBA. This isn't grade school. 50-38, Portland with a lead. Oh, man. Yeah, well, Dan Marley's laying a little pressure back on his teammates here with that line, so maybe we'll go back to what Barkley said. Pressure. Put it in tires. Don't put it on me.
Well, Barkley is a player that relishes the big moment, so I don't think that he's concerned about those statements. They all want to win a championship, and I think there's just a sense of urgency with all of the statements coming out of Phoenix, because with what they have done in improving their team, they have got to get better. And last year they played for the Western Conference Finals. They got a foul against Aaron Swinson. So the Suns right now not fluid at their end of the floor, and with 9:30 to go, if Portland can get some sharpness of their own, they can put this one away here early in the third.
As the boys would say, Swinson is cut. This kid is put together, and at 6'5", 6'6", he is defending on Chris Dudley. They have him over on Dudley. Now he jumps out on Cliff. Cliff is really looks like he's needs a little oxygen. Clyde on the clear out, followed by Cliff and Dudley. Banging around on the trampoline. Swinson out ahead to Perry, and they'll get their first two of the second half.
That's the danger of sending everyone to the glass as Strickland comes back.
This Phoenix team turns it over an average of 19 a game. They have 16 so far tonight. That is not pretty basketball.
Well, one of the things that this Phoenix team is supposed to be able to do is score the ball. So in the number of possessions, they expect to get it down more. The guy that's doing it right now, Elliot Perry.
Yeah, he is. The little left-hander, 8 points so far. Blazer lead 10, 52-42. Under 8.5 to play in the third. Oh, that's where Clyde likes. Clear out his side, let him post up on Marley. There he is. They cleared it out, let him work. One-on-one, tough to defend on Clyde, and the Blazers' lead is 12. He has 13. Perry on Rod. Practice against each other a lot when Perry was here. And Clyde will get the foul on top, even though Dudley rejected the drive and the shot. So Clyde has two.
He used one of his favorite tricks. That time he got a little lazy defensively and tried to reach in and grab the ball with two hands, was late in getting there. And that's when you want to really move your feet and get over. Clyde could have stayed in front of Dan Marley on that possession.
Oh, Marley at the stripe. And he gets the Suns back to within 11 with his 7th point of the ball game. 2 personals for Clyde. Blazers also have a pair here in the quarter. And Marley will cut the lead to 10 again. Phoenix is 76% free throw shooting team. I just saw the shot doctor walk in the building. I wonder how he feels about the shooting percentages. Well, he's got to feel good about that. Cliff Robinson on the 3 as Jim Paxson, the shot doctor, walked in, one of the Blazer coaches. 18 points for Cliff. And the Blazers with their biggest lead of the game, 13. Perry to Swinson to Marley. And Marley comes back and hits the 3. 57-47. Portland's lead 10.
If you're defending Marley, you want to make him move. That time he came out of a set away from the ball, got squared up, and had a chance to knock that jumper down.
Nice change of pace and crossover by Rod. Dudley with a rebound off the miss. Still loose, Strickland.
They got to get it in the air.
Shot clock to 1. They don't get it away in time. That's a 24-second violation as Clyde comes up dry, and the Blazers with their 15th turnover of the night. But they still lead by 10. Well, this Strickland has quick hands. You grow up in New York and spend a lot of time on the subways, you got to have quick hands. Manning. He tried to turn, crossover, and he drove right over Buck for the offensive foul, and that is number 4 on Danny Manning. And the Blazers will take a time. Timeout, less than 7 in the quarter. Portland by 10, 57-47.
And now, BP, big play of the game.
A Clyde Drexler big play lay-in a moment.
The new BP Visa card is causing quite a stir because now it automatically rebates 3% of every BP gasoline purchase toward free BP gasoline. Plus, use it as a Visa and you earn more free gasoline, up to $300 worth a year. So take a vacation, earn free gasoline. Dinner out, earn free gasoline. Same with all your shopping and no annual fee. Get the new BP Visa. Call 1-800-BP-VISA-1. BP. On the move.
What he said was that Clyde Drexler has returned to form and Los Angeles paid the price. A slashing Drexler scored 67 points in the Blazers' season-opening two-game sweep of the Clippers in Yokohama, Japan.
That's why this play was a BP big play of the game.
If you're a GTE telephone customer,
Hello, GTE Customer Care Center. I have a question.
this is what service looks like.
We'll take care of it right away.
Because at GTE customer care centers all across the country,
1 second, I can fix it from here.
our employees have the power to solve customer needs on the
I can
spot.
do that right now.
Are you sure you don't have to ask your supervisor?
Yes, ma'am, I'm sure.
Customer care centers from GTE help us serve our telephone customers faster. Another way, it's amazing what we can do together.
Sun's down by 10, but missing a couple of big ingredients. One of them, Charles Barkley. Yeah, he has to be frustrated not being in uniform here tonight.
Well, right now I'm disappointed I'm not playing, and I feel like I'm pretty much 100% right now. But I can't play for another week, but I feel like I'm 100%, so I feel like things are getting better. I won't ever get frustrated because it's just a basketball game.
Well, okay, I'll take back. A little bad selection of words. Not frustrated, just disappointed. It's just a basketball game. And every couple of weeks, he backs that Brinks truck up and hauls away a little bit more paper. 57-47. Dudley, good up fake. Okay, now there's a couple of moves by Dudley we didn't see last year. Little ball fake to shake the defender, and the Blazer lead is 12.
They had some patience that time, and they finally got a good close shot for Dudley. Marley continues to try from deep, so Portland will get possession of the basketball as it goes over the top.
Marley is 2 for 7, Snapper. That's not Dan Marley shooting, and as you can see reflected here, the Suns at 38%. Portland not a heck of a lot better at 40%.
Well, that's been the story of the ball game, but Portland has the lead, and as long as you have the lead, you're not going to complain. Near turnover, you're going to get a foul against A.C. Green.
Well, Clyde made something out of that after it looked like he had turned it over, and his athleticism recovers, and Green ends up with the foul. Wow.
A.C. stepped into the passing lane. Now the ball's up for grabs. Clyde got there first, and A.C. couldn't control himself. Trying to go to Drexler against the rookie Wesley Person.
Clyde on a wing. Over Person. Take 3. Yeah, he'll take 3. Person, who's a 50% three-point shooter himself, saying, hey, that's not bad. 62-47. Portland with a lead. Clyde with 16. Biggest lead. Person will try. He'll drill the 3. Well,
Portland that time had to rotate, and the last guy getting there was Chris Dudley, giving Person plenty of time to look at that.
62-50. Trailblazers 5.5 in the third. Clyde Dudley with a follow. Hello. That's what he does so well. Scramble, keep it live. Big action on the offensive boards. He's got 6. He's got a lot of rebounds to go with it. 6 points, 6 rebounds. 64-50. Trailblazers with a lead. Nice drive by Perry. Picked up and fouled by Buck-Williams.
Second unit trying to get into the ball game for the Phoenix Suns. Size. That's what they want right now. They bring in Klein and Danny Shays. A.C. Green, Swinson go off the floor because Paul Westphal sees his team getting dominated on the glass. Danny Ainge is going to come in as well.
A.C. Green taking a little walk to the side. A.C. out with only 2 points tonight and 3 rebounds. Perry, some numbers. Hey, you know what we have? Cable game here this Thursday night with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm going to break out the old jerseys. Personally, I didn't like them very much, but they're fun to look at. And you'll see the old Blazer uniforms, the old Cavalier uniforms. Oof, we're going to turn back the clock. You'd like to do that? I'd like to steal back to 1970. Get back those inches I lost when I was 6'3". Good drive. 66-52. Trailblazers leading by 14. That's Person. Good drive and a foul called on the play.
John Drexler trying to get to Wesley Person. That's his third personal.
Danny Ainge in and Elliot Perry out. Hugh Hollins made the call. Hugh Hollins is in a whole big tub of salsa in Chicago. He got into it with the Bulls, and particularly going back to the playoffs last year with Scottie Pippen, and then got angered when a reporter confronted him recently, and there's a whole brouhaha going on over that. 66-55 now. Trailblazer lead cut a little. Cliff from Clyde.
One thing Portland has done is get a little bit more patient, and they're trying to attack the rim a lot more. Cliff was right close when he got that pass, and an easy two.
4:10 to play here in the third. Joe Klein against Chris Dudley. Klein getting more PT tonight than he has in a long time. Shays. Danny Shays, for a big guy, can do that. Once in a while, he'll surprise you with a big rebound game and an inside game, but normally he likes to take it out 12 or 15 feet.
Well, both of their big guys are jump shooters. Drexler trying to pop over Wesley Person, gets another one.
And Clyde will bump the lead to 13 with his 18th point of the game. Here's Marley. And Dan Marley will get a three.
Thunder Dan always has one big quarter against the Trailblazers. He may be started now. He's got 8. He's got a couple of threes in this quarter.
Clyde with a reverse. Trying to work on the rookie, and that bounce pass hit Buck right on the foot. Buck looked like he was setting back screen down on the block, and Clyde tried to make a pass, but it was right at his foot. As Jerome Kersey will come in, and Mark Bryant has come in. B.Williams and Cliff Robinson will go to the Blazers bench. It's Miguel Knight, who's on the injured list, sitting down at the end with the shorn dome, if you will. They run Marley off a curl down inside on the left, and Jerome trying to reach around and catch up, catches the foul.
And similarly situation, and Dan Marley feeling it now, gets away from Jerome, picks up the personal. Some scores from tonight. Houston stays clean. Olajuwon with 28 in that one. Robert Pack led Denver to another win. He had 30. Pack is amongst the league leaders in assists. Matter of fact, leading the league in assists right now. So he's off to a terrific start.
Didn't he play here once?
Yes, he did.
He has turned out to be one nice player. Marley with 15 points and 6 boards tonight, even though his field goal shooting has not been spectacular. 3 for 8 from the floor.
There you go, turning back the hands of time, but there was no room in the end for Robert Pack here. You think you got Rod Strickland. You're in love with Rod Strickland.
Oh, I think he's wonderful. I think he's a fabulous player. Well, don't you?
Well, we have to make up our minds. Drexler.
Well, how would you like to have both of them? Clyde with 20.
9 1/4 for Drexler, who has been in a drought himself, and suddenly he struck a match, and they're trying to stay with the hot hand.
See how Danny Ainge swings the ball to the open man. Person on the follow off his missed shot, and then lost it out of bounds. 72-61, the Trailblazers lead. We have 2:44 left in the third.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. After midnight, we're gonna turn the cold one. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place. We're gonna so get out of the old and get into the cold.
It will open your eyes and turn heads. It is smart. It's about getting more power and better handling, more miles per gallon, and more style, inside and out. It's about choice, 2 doors or 4 doors. These are the times. This is the car. It's the all-new Tercel from Toyota.
A
was 15 years old when I first found myself homeless. It's all of a sudden bigger out there when you don't have a place to stay. I just decided, you know, I've got to do something. I learned how to read.
Inspired by Chris Sims and customers like him.
It was hard to ask for help.
Payless Drugs offers pharma partners. Pharmacists who are always there to help. Just ask.
And my goal in life right now is just to learn more.
Yeah, Jill Robinette of Cresswell says Cliff Robinson will be the first Blazer to score a point in the fourth quarter. Boy, if she does, and he does, it's $1,000 to Jill. If he doesn't, somebody else does. She'll still get 2 tickets to a Blazer game and a $100 gift certificate from Payless Drugstores. Jill Robinette, keep your fingers crossed tonight and hope that Clifford can do the job for you. 72-61, the Trailblazers with a lead of 11 and 2:44 remaining in the third quarter. Person to Marley. Missed 3, Clyde has. Blazers again continue to dominate on the boards. They lead by 12 in that category. That's going to be something that'll serve them well all year. Rod looking away from the pass.
They wanted to go against Danny Ainge. They know that Ainge cannot stay with R.Strickland. They were going to isolate. See what happens when they get the ball back. They get a foul at this end of the floor. It's going to be against Danny Shays.
Danny trying to rub off Jerome, and Jerome stepped nicely around him on the baseline, and Danny is called for the foul. His third. And the Suns now in the quarter. Still only one because it is an offensive foul, and you don't charge offensive fouls to team totals. Blazers by 11. Hey, by the way, Seattle beaten tonight by New Jersey. Well, they were down huge in that game, and I think they ended up losing by 6, if I'm not mistaken.
112-106. Coleman with 25 and 10. Sean Kemp with 26 and 13.
Clyde on the drive. On the draw back, give it a Bryant, and he gets the English and the roll. And he'll take 2, won't you? Blazer fans say yay. 74-61. Portland by 13. Bryant with his first 2 of the night.
You can see where the Phoenix Suns need the penetration of Kevin Johnson. They become a perimeter team. They get a big shot from Shays. And that's his favorite spot. And he and Joe Klein like to shoot straight away top of the key.
Shay's been around a long time, former #1 of the Utah Jazz, and another foul called against Danny Shays. Look at Westfall. Now this is an illegal defense call against Danny. Westfall pleading his case, saying, Tommy, come on, Tom, you didn't see that.
They'll shoot the technical, but you can see they've got 2 guys guarding nothing. And that's the problem. You got to go double team the ball or you don't. And both of them stood and guarded an area.
Now, once you double team the ball, Steve, according to the new rules, can you jump back and cover the open man once the ball is released from that person that had the ball off the double?
If you're down low, you can't do it. If you're out on the perimeter, you can. But the 2.9 has been taken away. But all of the players, all of the coaches are still adjusting to the new illegal defense rule.
And, of course, the hand-checking rule has come into play several times this year already. R.Strickland from Clyde. We have a bumping foul. Clyde is called on the charge, and he'll get this foul. Incidentally, we've not seen Wayman Tisdale for some time. Wonder where he is.
3 in the quarter for Drexler, 4 in the ball game. He sits down. Tracy Murray comes in. Tisdale limped off. And we're trying to get a report on what the physical condition and the nature of the injury is for Tisdale, but he was not happy when he went to the locker room.
He stumbled under the basket, if you recall. Klein on the pass from Ainge, and Ainge safety valving on top. Tries to lay it underneath to Shays, and Shays with a little versatility will receive the foul from Chris Dudley. Well, there's big Chris. That's number 4 on him. Clyde out with 4, Dudley with 4, Westfall evidently a little levity from Danny Ainge over there.
Talking about that pass, it was a terrible pass, and they were lucky to get Danny Shays in this position to score.
Here's Shays, an accomplished musician when he was in college. And Tisdale's in street clothes sitting next to Charles Barkley. Ooh. As Dudley will go out. Wasn't it Joe Klein that made the comment on Barkley as James Edwards comes in? that wasn't lotion that he had on his head that got in his eyes. It was really turtle wax. What do you think he was talking about? I think Charles uses turtle wax on that dome. 75-65. The Trailblazers. 1:17 to play here in the third.
Eddie, it's been a while since you've been on television, but I'll inform you they got satellites, and so you're going to have to deal with that turtle wax by yourself.
Klein said that, though.
You're all on your own.
You won't help me out.
Oh, no, Barclay's got friends all over the country, so you...
Oh, see, now, I thought you were supposed to be my buddy.
Trevor Ruffin comes back into the ball game. That means James Robinson will get another chance. Played 5 minutes, scored 1 field goal, and really was not happy when he had to go with the entire second unit when they sat down. Now let's see if he plays better in his second time around as well for Tracy Murray.
The first time around, the second unit really struggled, and they trap James, and he'll give it to James Edwards. And they trap him again with Ruffin and Ainge. And noticing R.Strickland as he went out of the game, flexing that right hand, he hurt that wrist in the first half, and now being tended to over there by Jay Jensen, the Trailblazers trainer. That has to be a huge concern for this team. He is the rudder of this ball club. James Robinson at the line. There's James.
James Robinson really has a chance to pick up some playing time and to really feel his way around the league with Terry Porter down. They have said this is your time, and we'll find out. We got 58 seconds left in this quarter, 12 in the next, how much effect he has on this game. Both teams making substitutions. Elliot Perry coming in, so that means the Suns, who were big, now get smaller. Danny Ainge, Wesley Persons, and Dan Marley, they're looking to trap the ball. Robinson missed them both.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned earlier that I like James Robinson. What do you think PJ likes about his game?
I think it's his ability to do a lot of things. I think it's just that, he's been a player that's been used to being very aggressive at the offensive end. Now he has to think about everybody else. There's a turnover, but that one wasn't on him. That has to go against James Edwards. Edwards does not come to meet the ball. Wesley Person scores.
Person on the score. Now it's 75-67 as they trim again against this second unit. They struggled in the first half, and again here in the second half, unable to get it done as the Suns applying the pressure on the ball. As we take a 20-second timeout. And one of the things that James has a problem with is the fact that occasionally he will make the pass while airborne. And that's always tough to pull off. You've got to make a decision while you're in the air. And usually it doesn't turn out to be a good one. There are very few guys that have gone through this league that have been able to do that successfully very often. All right, we'll pause 5 for station identification. This is the Trailblazers Television Network.
You're watching KGW-TV, Channel 8 Portland, home of the Trailblazers.
Interesting that Phoenix has dominated Portland's bench, but are down on the scoreboard. But that shows, again, their depth, the ability of their veterans to come in and do well. And Portland is still looking for that second unit to find an identity. Robinson in the game with 29 seconds to go. They want to make sure they get a score.
James Edwards has gone out. James Robinson to Tracy Murray. He's a prolific player. As B.Williams, probably the most unlikely up there to take that shot. Phoenix thinking maybe let Button take it, but he worked for it and got it, and he's got 9.
One of the places where James Robinson excels is pressure on the ball, and when he gets out and really is aggressive, it makes it easier for Portland overall. Ruffin for 3.
And he hit that one over Tracy Murray. Ruffin 6-1, Murray 6-7. 7-point lead. James will try and get to Cliff and does. Less than 2 seconds in the quarter, and unlike what he did at the end of the first half, he can't pull it off here at the end of the third quarter. And the lead has slipped to 7 after 3.
Winter in Les Schwab country. To get you through, use the Les Schwab Winter Checklist. Snow tires, the West's largest selection of traction and all-seasons tires, studs and studless. Chains, all types, all styles, including quick fit, easy to put on, easy to use. Snowflex, the snow tire with an amazing rubber compound. It's a Les Schwab exclusive. Batteries, winter tough, and installed free. All this and more at your winter tire headquarters, Les Schwab. For the winter of '94, we've got you covered.
At the time, Muggsy, a man of small stature, was to battle the giant named Goliath. Armed only with an incredible thirst to prove himself, Muggsy, fleet of foot, did circle and confuse Goliath, and thus slew the mighty giant. All the people celebrated. Sprite flowed freely, thus it was written. Height is nothing, thirst is everything. Obey your thirst.
Think about the electricity in your home for a minute. That light switch that doesn't work. The lamp that flickers. That dark stairway. Isn't it time you did something about it? That's why it's nice Fred Meyer's open later hours, so you can pick up that new switch or socket when you need it. Thanks to people like Scott Carlson, who make sure we're in stock on everything from outlet strips to every size and watt of GE light bulbs. Build it, fix it, paint it, and get one-stop shopping. You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
Make, toast, blend, puree, press, pants, call mother.
Calling mother. Presenting Voice Touch from Cellular One. You speak, it dials, and it works with any cellular phone. If only everything was this easy.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. It's cold filtered. Get out of the old, get into the cold. By Fred Meyer Stores. Value for your time and money. You'll find it at Fred Meyer. And by Portland Metro Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
All right, let's go for the fourth quarter. It's 77-70. The Trailblazers with the lead. Danny Manning, Wes Person, Danny Shays, Danny Ainge, and it will be Trevor Ruffin. Down to Cliff. First to the fourth. Don't forget, Blazer points. We've got to get this one taken care of. Blazers with Jill Robinette on deck from Creswell, Oregon, says that Cliff will score the first Blazer points of the fourth. And if she does get, Payless Drugstores will pay $1,000 to Jill.
There's been several different combinations out on the floor. This is an unusual one where Danny Manning, Shays play together for the first time, and Danny Manning, who's been quiet, gets right to the rim.
And the Blazers bench is not showing well here tonight. They were outscored 17-2 in the third quarter. Jerome settling for the outside shot. And Cliff Robinson delivers for Jill Robinette. Oh, Jill, Payless Drugstores are going to send you a check for $1,000. How about that? Clifford scoring the first Blazer points of the fourth quarter.
You said it earlier, you'd like to see Cliff rebound in traffic a little bit better. Not only does he rebound, but goes back up strong. Now a chance for a three-point play.
She's also going to get a couple of tickets to a future ball game. So congratulations, Jill Robinette. Cliff Robinson scoring the first Blazer points of the fourth quarter. And Payless Drugstores is happy to congratulate also. Danny Ainge. Ball knocked out of bounds. And Cellular One Baby Stats. Kevin Aiken has given us a pretty good run on the numbers here. And he says the Blazers' 7-point lead not untarnished because the bench not doing a great job here in the ball game.
Wesley Person has played with some control and poise and has had some moments. Ruffin traveled, but you've got an unusual lineup out there. We'll find out how Portland defends it. Person is being guarded by Tracy Murray. Jerome Kersey being guarded by Danny Ainge. See if Portland takes advantage of that.
And meanwhile, this is an opportunity for James Robinson with Rod sitting on the Blazers side, flexing that right wrist so it doesn't get stiff. Robinson out there trying to run the show. Tracy Murray and trying to shoot over 6'11 plus Danny Shays as Wes Person comes down and Tracy Murray tying him up. And a foul called on Tracy Murray, but the lead at 7 is in jeopardy right now.
Tracy that time got turned around and then tried to recover. Got person clearly across the arms, you know, go to the line, but he was in a bad position because he was in a one-on-one and retreating.
Person, a 75% career free throw shooter at Auburn with 9 points and 5 rebounds. And those are about his season numbers coming in. A little over 12 and 6 rebounds, averaging on the way in here tonight. 79-73, Trailblazer lead at 6. Jerome DeCliff back to an open James. Boy, good open shots. You got to dump those home. And a foul call as the Suns try to transition to the other end. This is on Buck Williams.
And you would have liked to have seen Cliff, who moved in about 15 feet. He had a jump shot, pitched it back out. They ended up taking one deeper. Buck Williams made a good save because the Suns were in transition. James Robinson a foul.
I mean, it was a ticky-tack foul. All he did was he got bumped by Danny Ainge, and he tried to recover and put his hands out, and the hands made contact with a man with a ball. Well, the bench in Phoenix, again, dominating in this game. They've scored the last 8 points in a row, their bench. And now with a decided edge over the Trailblazers, and a 6-point Blazer lead is starting to get whittled away.
Interesting thing in this ball game, we have seen no Harvey Grant, and Grant had a big game against Sacramento. Portland could use a score with that second unit. Hasn't been identified as yet.
Somebody with a little heat in his hand, and because the people out there right now are struggling. Shays. Both teams not shooting particularly well. The Suns at 41% for the game. There's James, that high dribble. Look to Jerome. Draws the double. And Cliff on the drive, and what do we have?
Second time, 3-second violation. They've gone down on the post, and when the rebounder from the weak side has been Buck Williams, thought the ball was going up. He's sliding in, staying in the lane, and the ball's been kicked out.
Blazers led by as many as 15. Now the lead at 6. And Ruffin will try and cut it down. The follow by Shays and the miss. And Person. Oh, what a nice pick at the 23rd spot in the first round.
Jerome Kersey has knocked it away twice, but the Suns continue to have possession. Kersey finally gets it.
Kersey playing inside where he made a reputation. James adding by Ruffin and fouled on the play on the way through. Trevor Ruffin. This guy a week and a half ago thought he was out of the game.
James Robinson with the high dribble, likes the hesitation, got by. Ruffin tried to make the wraparound. Danny Ainge trying to wrap him up. But the Suns are now in the ball game, and Portland's got to really come back with some good offensive decision-making. The last 2 possessions, they've got nothing. They've been turnovers. And they're trying to take advantage of Jerome Kersey as against Danny Ainge or Wesley Person.
Little leap and leaner that time that will not happen for Jerome. A.C. Green has replaced Danny Shays in the Suns lineup. And Danny Ainge is called for the travel. And the Blazers still grimly holding on to a 6-point lead, 79-73. 8:50 and ticking in the ball game remaining. And Dudley will come back with Clyde in a moment to give the Blazers a little bit more size up front.
Now they need some firepower right now, and that's what they're looking for. Clyde, they get Buck Williams attacking the rim, and that's been the best play that this unit has run. Tracy Murray, not happy, goes off the floor.
Clyde in. He will replace Tracy Murray, and Jerome Kersey will amble off the floor and be replaced by Chris Dudley.
Kersey not happy either. His walk got very slow as his head dropped, headed to the sideline.
And Buck Williams at the line. 9 points, 10 rebounds. Another good contribution by Buck. Did you have any idea that this went on in 89-90? Since 89-90, did you know that the Trailblazers We're right at the top of the heap.
For the month of November?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Big month.
They've had a huge November almost every year. Dudley gets pushed off the ball. Fans wanted a whistle, didn't get it.
AC Green 6'9" against Chris Dudley 6'11". Ainge on top, tries the three and can't. Cliff out ahead to a streaking Clyde. Beautiful pass. Athletic recovery by Clyde, and the Blazer lead is 9. What a pass by Cliff.
Now that's the Phoenix Suns play thrown over the top, and they've been beaten by it twice, but only have had to pay for one score.
Manning.
That's Danny Manning's favorite spot, right in there, and he shoots what at the half hook right in your face.
10 points for Manning. Would you consider him a little disappointing at this stage of his career? Or would you think he'd been a more dominant player? Is this what you expected? Carry on the drive off the steal. Nice move.
You got to come meet the basketball, and Portland has been slow in reacting. James Robinson didn't come to meet that pass. Now they want to talk about it in a timeout.
And it will be a 20-second timeout called by the Trailblazers. No, PJ says he wants a full one. So PJ will take a full. The Blazers lead is 5 and slipping away.
Shoes come in all different styles and sizes, which is why Fred Meyer has all different kinds of shoe buyers. Like Phil Moore, whose world of sports runs to just about every kind of shoe. Andrea Fowler, whose specialty is women's shoes and is notoriously hard to please. And Jim Bateman, who buys for kids and has a real hands-on approach. One thing they all share: an eye for a good shoe, an eye for a good low price. You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
You talk about off-the-wall questions. Here's one a lot of folks have trouble with.
You have anything on thermostats? This thing might as well come with a string. It's a real yo-yo.
Find out about thermostats and other ways to save money this winter with our new guidebook. It's free. Call 1-800-222-4335. We've got the right answers for real people.
In 1906, Engelbert Franz started the Franz Bakery with one simple idea in mind: to bake and sell the freshest, best-tasting bread possible. Throughout the years, his business grew and changed, but his commitment to quality remained. Today, you can choose from a variety of Franz products, including their famous hamburger and hot dog buns, all baked to Engelbert's standards he set over 88 years ago. Franz, baking in quality since 1906.
Well, how do you feel about the Phoenix Suns without Barkley, Johnson, and now Wayman Tisdale? A little soft cast on the foot, Wayman Tisdale, and the injury woes that have kind of chased this team around the last few years continue to hobble. Of course, they go to the finals 2 years ago. Last year, injury problems to Barkley and Kevin Johnson. And the Trailblazers hoping they can take advantage of no Tisdale the rest of the way.
Now Portland's allowed the Phoenix Suns to hang around and get in this game, and now they're trying to get control. Another turnover that's back-to-back, and the Suns out in the sprint. Danny Manning.
Manning will pull the Suns within 3. He has 12. The Trailblazers have turned it over now 21 times in the game.
They're going to double, and what Portland needs are cutters going to the basket. They're willing to leave Buck Williams and Chris Dudley.
Dudley with nowhere to go, forcing the shot. One shot, no more. When he shoots, he takes away a lot of rebounding, as Ainge will square up for 3. That had a chance to tie. Manning hangs on the lip of the rim. Blazers boarding well. That's kept him out in front of this game most of the night.
All right, here's where you want to see Portland attack. Strickland left that one short, but he had the right idea. But it's a 3-on-1 going the other way.
Perry blocked by Cliff and a foul. R.Strickland, of course, coming in the game recently, still flexing the wrist, and James Robinson going to the side and getting a little lecture from P.J. Carlesimo.
3-on-1. Danny Ainge may have gotten away with the walk, but Cliff Robinson was in bad position with no help. Fouls Elliot Perry, and Perry, along with Danny Manning, they're spearheading the transition game for the Suns.
And Perry missing an opportunity to get them within 2. And the Suns right now 16 of 24 at the line. The Blazers are 12 of 16 at the stripe. This kid, very humble, very appreciative of the opportunity to make it at this level. Elliott Perry from Memphis State. Just unreal quickness, and now it's a 2-point ball game. 82-80.
Well, Portland needs to pass the basketball against this pressure and go to the basket. If they do that, they get layups.
Trailblazers have not handled the pressure real well tonight. They've forced a lot of turnovers because of it. Nice move by Cliff, but foul on the switch down by Danny Manning. And again, that switching defense, Steve, do you like it, or would you rather play him straight up?
Well, it's been effective for Phoenix, who's not been a team that's noted for defense, and they've doubled up, and then they've got people reacting. You see Danny Manning reach in on the switch, picks up the personal foul. Both teams will be in the penalty on the next shot, but if Portland's to get control of the game, they've got to start going inside. They foul Dudley.
And Dudley will try and fatten the lead. It's a slim 2-pointer right now. 82-80. Trailblazers lead was at one time 15 points, 57-44.
This is what's known as a team player. Now watch Danny Ainge. He'll come back in there and help out. Really, this foul could have been called on AC Green or Danny Ainge, but they give it to Danny Ainge. Dudley misses the first.
Chris Dudley having a bit better success at the foul line this year, even though he's very unorthodox. Danny Ainge and Clyde off the ball going at each other as Dudley's trying to shoot the free throw, and Ainge is pleading his case here with Louis Grillo. 83-80. The Trailblazer lead 3. Elliott Perry, fair 3-point shooter. Ainge and Marley are out there. They're the good ones. And there's Marley to Ainge. Back to AC. That's for 2.
Right now, the Suns are a little bit quicker with their ball movement. They're not cashing in on those scoring opportunities.
Chris Dudley with his 8th rebound. Clyde, fine pass and a backdoor move by Rob. What a beautiful pass. And I'll tell you, that back door has been open. That weak side back cut has been open all night long. Marley. And his 3 makes it a 1-point ball game. Or make it a 2. 85-83.
Big time 3 deep out on the floor. That's one of Marley's favorite positions.
That's his 3rd 3-pointer of the game tonight.
See, they're doubling on the ball every time, and Portland can't find the open man because they're staying out on the perimeter. Strickland's trying to shake loose. 5 on the shot clock.
And they say a 3-second violation in the lane against Portland. Well, the Blazers having a devil of a time against the double team by the Suns, as Steve mentioned, and trying to rotate it back to the top and swing it to the open side, but the Suns are doing a good job of getting over to the open man.
They're taking away the passing lane. You got to have someone available, and they got to center the ball. If they do that, they're going to get a layup. Marley for 3.
And the Suns have taken a 1-point lead, 86-85. 4:44 to play in the game.
A back-to-back 3-point field goal for Marley to wake up this crowd who's been basically sitting on their hands.
Remember, they had 12 threes in the game the other night. Clyde on the miss. Perry with a rebound. 4:23 to play in the game. Perry on the dish. Danny on the drive. They lead by 3. 88-85, and PJ will take a timeout. Timeout, Portland. Suns have risen, and it's 88-85 here at the Coliseum.
It could only come from here. Canada, the home of ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be colder and bolder. Yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice. From the land where ice was born.
GTE introduces something incredible. It can transmit and receive data with digital clarity. It can fax and receive faxes from anywhere in the world. It can even access financial news and weather and conduct 3-way conference calls. But what's most impressive is that it does it all at 35,000 feet. GTE Airphone reaches far beyond what people expect. Another way, it's amazing what we can do together.
No matter how far the journey, the need to make it home is basic, instinctual, undeniable. Toyota 4Runner. For the way there, for the way back.
The Suns are hot. They've got a nice little run going. And as you can see, the Trailblazers trying to scramble here against the Suns, and the bench has really put a hurt on Portland tonight.
The bench has hurt Portland, but Portland has hurt themselves here from about the end of the third quarter and through most of the fourth. The Suns are trapping, they're double teaming, and that's what you want. You want people going to the hoop. This time, Mark Bryant has it knocked away. Drexler had a good pass inside, but they've got to take advantage of the fact that, one, the Suns are a small team. They're using a double team, and Portland should be able to get inside.
What a shame to miss that fine entry pass by Clyde to Bryant, and the Blazers come away with nothing. And the Suns, who are on a 15-3 run, have come from 82-75 down to 88-85 up. And we are now under 4 minutes to play here in this game tonight. And Danny Manning has counted again.
What you have to do against the Phoenix Suns is continue to score the basketball. Portland is broken down. They've been outscored 20-7 here in the final quarter of play. Portland's got to get it at the offensive end. They're going to force Portland to pass the ball.
Rod on the drive, tipped live by Dudley, kept live, and what is it? There will be
you got all kind of hands going up. They want to make sure they keep Danny Manning in the game. Manning has 5 personal fouls, but 10 points here in the quarter. He's been carrying the offensive show. They'll be more than happy to see Dudley go back to the line. Strickland tried to squeeze that one in, and it just wouldn't stay. Dudley banged it a couple of times, and he's pulled him off the ball.
That was the old pastry bag shot. And now on the foul here by the Suns, that was charged to Danny Ainge, his third. Chris Dudley missing on the free throw. And the Trailblazers.
This is the fear of most fans for Chris Dudley, is that when the game is close, teams are going to foul him, put him on the line. Portland 329. They've got to stir it up at the offensive end.
Now the Blazers 11 for 20 at the line for the night. And that time he threw a dart up there that hit. 90-86. Suns lead 4. 3:24 remaining in the game. Rod against Perry, bumped and no call. Got away with one. Perry down deep and travel with the ball. They called the same foul earlier in the game on James Robinson for merely touching Ruffin. That time Rod put his hands on Perry and got away with one out on top. When you get inside the foul line, you can do that.
And see if Portland takes advantage of the double team coming up, trying to go inside against A.C. Green.
Cliff comes across.
See, they're leaving Dudley, and they're making Portland pay. Perry comes back in the passing lane.
And that is the 4th time tonight he's stepped up and taken the ball away, and the Blazers are making him look like he belongs in Springfield. 92-86.
They haven't handled the double team well because they don't know where to center the ball.
Clyde will shoot the 3 and get it. Boy, that was a big, big 3, and that puts it at 3 points on top for the Phoenix Suns. 26 for Clyde, 92-89 Phoenix. 2.5 left in it. And off the ball, we got a foul coming on whom?
Mark Bryant. Bryant bodied and hooking up with Danny Manning will send Manning to the line. What Westphal has done is take advantage of Dudley being out on the floor, and who's ever guarding Dudley, they're going to run, they're going to leave that man. They did the same thing with B.Williams. That's the reason that they got Mark Bryant in the game, but they haven't been able to get a score.
Well, you've seen over the years, these two clubs are very prolific teams, but no indication right now with 2.5 to play. Both teams still under 100. As B.Williams has come back on. And the Blazers, who dominated on the boards 45-37, will try and get a little bit more help, and Buck comes away with one.
Well, they get a gift. Manning missed both of the free throws, so you got a 3-point game. B.Williams comes in the game. Let's see if they can get something inside as they're trying to take advantage of Dudley being out there and lead that man.
And B.Williams trying to fight to get the rebound, had it bang off his leg and out of bounds. And Buck arguing with Tommy Nunez, and he's going to get no help here.
Ball went off the toe of Dan Marley.
Tommy needs a do-rag, by the way, cover up the top of that hit.
2 minutes remaining.
Ainge. To Green. Driving on Bryant. And Mark covers and gets. And with 1:48, time is not an ally, and the Blazers trailing by 3.
Yeah, they're calling a 2 down. That means they're going to be screen across and they'll look for Drexler or Cliff Robinson.
Backside is open.
They got a mismatch with Cliff against Danny Ainge. Clyde for a deep 3 against the clock.
And Rod picks it out of the air and lays it in. He misses the 3, does Clyde, and Rod out of the air lays it in. 92-91. Strickland with 19. Suns with a 1-point lead. Manning off the pick and roll, won't get. Ainge to Perry.
Shot clock at 7.
Green with a follow. Rod with a rebound. Portland with a ball and a minute left. They want to run a set play. Forced into the half court. Clyde off the curl. Looks for Buck. Ball knocked away. Ball loose. Here's Perry again. Elliott Perry, who has been the man, will give them a 3-point lead here with less than a minute to play.
Now Clyde went too quickly, didn't have control of the ball, and went to the floor, and the ball, he just couldn't get to it, and that left Elliott Perry to pick it up.
Phoenix by 3.
Oh no, not the winner of 92 again. In 94, not to worry. At Les Schwab, we feature a full line of winter tough batteries in stock. A battery for every start, no matter what the weather. You'll like the price, and you'll like the installation. It's free. Just like in tires, your place for winter tough batteries is Les Schwab. For whatever you drive.
Hello from Plank Road, where our man Paul has been getting a lot of calls and letters asking, do ice brews come from Iceland? Good guess, but wrong. Ice House is ice brewed, so there's never any watered-down taste, just more of what you want. Iceland has a lot of wonderful things to offer.
I wish the world peace. Yeah?
But ice brews aren't one of them. Ice House, from America. Thanks, and enjoy.
Many airlines offer reduced rate fares. Unfortunately, that's not all they've reduced. It makes you wonder, what's next?
I'd appreciate it. Do you have 4 quarters for $1? Anybody have 2 quarters for $1? Yes, miss, do you have 2 quarters for $2? 2 quarters for $5, please? Oh, boy, I'd appreciate it.
On Alaska Airlines, we have low fares too, but you never know it by the way we treat you.
Clyde Drexler, his team down by 3. 94-91 tonight, but Clyde holds the longest tenure with any club here in the NBA's 12th season. Elliott Perry, what a night he's had. 17 points, 6 steals, 5 of those he's converted on for 10 points. He has been a most valuable player here tonight for the Phoenix Suns.
All right, fast break points, that's supposed to be a strength of Portland. They've been dominated in that category as well. 40 seconds to go in the game. You need a 2. You don't necessarily need a 3 right now. And let's see how Portland attacks it. They have not handled the pressure of Elliott Perry very well. They need to drive the ball to the basket.
And Phoenix has extended the Blazer offense and having to scramble to get it in close. Rod, what a dish inside to Buck with 25+ seconds remaining. 1-point lead. They could pretty much use the clock here. Buck inside with 12. And Perry is going to have to be attacked by Rod. Somebody's going to have to foul somebody to get it back. And with 12.8 seconds remaining, Elliot Perry will go to the foul line to see if he can continue his starring performance here tonight. PJ reminding his people what he wants to do when they get possession of the ball with less than 13 seconds to play. About this fellow, Elliot Perry. Steve, you remember last year, I think he had 17 assists against the Blazers in one game?
Just got off the plane in his first appearance as a Phoenix Suns against the Trailblazers. He was big again tonight. Cotton Fitzsimmons said earlier, Paul Westphal didn't like him, but he had to keep him because Perry just kept sending all the other people to the shower, sent him home, and he's got the job. 18 for Perry.
Well, they had signed Winston Garland here in the offseason, and many people felt Winston Garland was going to be the answer, but Perry just beat him out. And Garland was released. 95-93 at 1. Blazers are 3 points away from tying with Ainge, Perry, Green, Manning, and Marley defending against the Blazers. Rod steps outside the line. Murray on the come-around. Gets the look. Ooh, it was in. It was out. They get the rebound, and they're going to hang on and win this game tonight. Tracy Murray had a good look and couldn't get it done. But the Blazers were their own worst enemy in losing their first game of the year here tonight. Final score of this one, the Suns 96, the Trailblazers 93.
From Plank Road, where our man Paul...
You got Ice House in a can? Well, then you better let it out.
Ice House is now in cans. These superb cylinders are crafted from space-age aluminum, covered with awe-inspiring two-dimensional graphics, and chock full of ice-brewed Ice House. Plus, they're easy to stack, easy to hold, and if you've got...
The young man with the electric legs and the Hollywood name tag slipped into Clyde's big sneakers in Phoenix. James Robinson had 23. Chris Dudley had 17 points and 17 rebounds, and together they did their thing in a big way against the Suns. But it was the Roman candle performance of R.Strickland that had eyes blinking and tugs wagging. Great stuff, a triple-double. What a shame to have it all rubbed out because of poor Blazer execution heading toward the tape. 6 steals by High Sox Elliot Perry, and 35 points by Gabby Barkley before he got thumbed. This was the kind of play that slammed the iron gate. Result, an overtime loss, 120 to 113. The